All right, I think we're live, Luke. I think no more inappropriate things you were saying earlier. I'm just kidding. Guys,
you know what you signed up for.
I know the real catching boxes experience right here. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome to Iggy's Corner. We have a special guest, first guest of the YouTube channel, Catching Foxes podcast, or the Catching Foxes. One of the co-hosts, Luke. Should I say last name, or are we not doing? Are we still not doing last names?
Yep. Nope. You're good.
We're just Luke from Catching Foxes has graciously joined me today in my first live stream with another podcast YouTube channel. Catching Foxes podcast is all in the description below. Luke, thank you so much for hanging out and playing Mario Party with me, man.
Yeah, dude. I am thrilled to be here. This is a thing I do not know a lot about, as we were talking about earlier. So I was like, wow, I can actually. When we were in the plaza thing, I was like, cool, I can see you move.
I know, right? It's like, wow, this was this is what our AR overlords want for us, man. They want us to be in this virtual world. I'm just kidding.
I was like, oh, I get it. Okay, that's. I mean, I legit. I don't. I love video games, the ones that I play, but I play them once every 5 years. I would get into one, and then I don't touch it for years. So, and my daughter fell in love. Everly, she fell in love with the Mario Brothers movie. And
oh yeah.
I was trying to show her the games, and she had a Princess Peach demo game, and so I let her go around in the lobby, and it'll entertain her for about a minute, and she's like, okay, but then she wants to go back to it. So. I
That's
think
awesome.
She's at a point now where she might be able, she changed my icon to some.
The Animal Crossing pink.
Animal
Oh man.
Whatever.
Man, I forgot the character. I love Animal Crossing, and so the fact that she chose the pink llama is adorable. It's awesome. If anyone's in the chat, please let us know if the audio is okay. It's looking like the audio seems pretty fine. And also, thank you for Hallelujah. For being in the chat. Sorry we missed you. Sorry it took a little bit longer to set up, but we're here and we're live now.
Guess whose fault it was?
Not Luke's. Never. All right, man.
I tell you, shocked.
We're all surprised. So Luke, so we're gonna pick a board here. Since you're our guest, what board do you want to play?
Okay, so I explored this for about maybe 20 minutes the other day. What did I do? Oh, I did something. All right, I'm going to back out of this. It's a bunch of reactions.
Oh, yeah, the reaction.
How do I... Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Wait, how do I navigate the boards? I am so new at this. You guys are going to be so new.
Okay, so, I honestly, I can't see your screen. So, we can do Rainbow Galleria, the mall one. We can do Roll'em Racing.
Is that like Mario Kart?
It's the Mario Kart map.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, I am Prude. Thanks for being here. Luke's a little quiet. All right. Thank you for letting me know. All right.
Good to know. Sorry about that. I will try to speak up. And I probably should have this is when I miss having my normal setup. I don't have a boom on anymore.
Oh,
so, yeah. I could have just hooked this up to my computer, but I would have actually, that would have been hard for playing a video game. I don't know.
Well, I'm playing on my PC right now, so I mean, I have a whole, obviously for the whole streaming setup, I have the whole stream setup, so it's I have my mic to my PC, so it's a lot better. Yeah, are you just doing it for your phone?
Yeah, I have my AirPods in.
Oh, perfect. So, roll and race them? The racing map?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Let's do it.
All right.
Do I still sound pretty low?
I am Prute. How's Luke sounding now? I bumped up his audio a little bit. All right, we're putting the opponents to normal because I know these CPUs are ridiculous. How long do you want to play for?
I'm good with whatever, man.
All right, so let's see. I'm going to party settings. We can do 10 rounds, which is pretty short. It's at around 90 minutes. There's 15 rounds that says it's 120 minutes. Sometimes it's give or take. Sometimes a little bit faster. And then there's 20 rounds is 150 minutes. So how are you doing with time? How do you want?
Let me check. I could probably do 90 minutes. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's do it. Okay. Bonus. Oh, do you have your? Are you using your Joy-Cons or not using your Joy-Cons?
I don't know what that is.
Your controller.
Yes, I have like the normal controller that you have. That feels like a normal controller. Where you take the things out of the Switch and you put them in this other thing, and it's like looks like an Xbox-ish kind of a controller.
Okay, Luke's volume is good now. Thank you, I Fruit. All right, so we won't do motion. We won't do motion.
I don't know. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't. They're not disconnected or anything.
Okay, cool. Then we won't do motion then. All right. Then let's start this.
I cannot emphasize enough how bad I am at this stuff. So
no worries, man. No worries. But thank you all, everybody who's hanging out here. Really appreciate you hanging out on my channel. As I was saying before, Luke from Catchy Foxes is my first guest to my channel. My channel is just about playing video games, hanging out with people, kind of talk about the Catholic faith, but mostly it's just having fun playing video games. So I really appreciate y'all being here. If you guys can give a like to the video, I appreciate it. Subscribe also if you feel like it. Once again, no pressure, but yeah, we're just happy to have you here. All right, do you want to see the board or you just want to jump right into it, Luke?
Let's just jump right into it. It's not going to make any more or less sense to me, regardless.
All right, so let's see where we're going to be. Well, you're going first, man.
Okay. So, do we take turns doing this?
Yes, we will both take turns on for all of us, and it's gonna be. This map's really annoying. I'll tell you that much. This map is it will screw you over so fast, and you think you're about to get the star, and it's like, oh, guess what?
Okay.
You're gonna be sent all the way back. It's great.
If you think this is boring, or like I'm not doing I'm fine trying other things. So we don't have to stay doing this the entire time. I don't know if that's how this works or not.
No, man. I mean, like, all right. I mean, if we're bored with this, we could just do straight up meeting games. So you're up on rolling the dice.
Okay. So what does this roll mean?
It's how far you can go on the map. It's like basically imagine like this like Monopoly essentially.
Okay. Oh, this is okay. I'm sorry. Whoa.
Oh yeah, you spent.
I don't know what's happening.
So you actually got farther than the map, so that's actually perfect.
Okay, so it's not like a race then. I'm not playing Mario Kart.
No.
I was fully expecting it to be like, okay, my apologies.
Oh, so
that's where I was like, okay.
Well, I got nowhere. Perfect. See, this is okay. I love Mario Party, but this is what happens. It's like this game picks one person to get screwed over, and it's always me. And so, the CPUs are just going to get the best rolls, and like, oh, you don't have enough coins? Oh, here's some coins, and here's a free star just for you. It's like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the CPUs are gonna beat us because that's how broken sometimes this game is.
Nintendo, get your stuff together.
I know it's. Gosh, well, I'm already far behind, man. Luke, I think you're gonna win this one. Already, you're so far ahead and near the star, man. I think you're gonna win this.
Look at that. Double dice. The computer gets double dice. There's a podcast I love called the Acquired Podcast. Minigame. Yeah. And 2 versus 2 minigame. Okay.
Oh, we're on the same team. Let's go.
I don't know what does this mean.
So we're playing minigame together now.
Okay, that's cool.
All right. Oh gosh, actually, I hate this minigame. All right, so I'm gonna shoot the bullet bill, and you have to land on the little things I shoot.
Do I go?
You go right. All right, so jump on the black. Okay, perfect. You're doing a great job. I'm just gonna try to make it. Okay. This is a practice round.
So annoyed with me. It's gonna be just listening time. Okay, so do I try to jump on the little thing?
Yes, you jump on the little black bullet bills. All right, I'm gonna try to make it so easy that you don't fall off. And we're trying. Okay, Luke.
I am. So am I trying to jump where you're aiming?
Yes. But wait until the bullet bills.
Okay, so you're gonna make it.
I'm making a path for you.
Okay.
We got this.
I get it. So I'm trying to jump where it's black.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your poor listeners.
Pretend it's a Mario game level. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Your poor listeners.
I know.
I'm not good at this stuff.
All right, so all right, guys, this is where the CPU takes over and wins the game because Luke doesn't know how to do platformers. You got this. I'm literally just gonna make a line for you so you don't fall off.
Oh no, this is why like my friends hated playing video games with me when I was younger. And I'm like, I don't know, guys.
All right, here we go. There we go.
That's ridiculous. That was there.
All right, cool. All right, we're good. All right, let's see if we can just make a little jump right there. All right, beautiful.
Oh no, I had it. Oh my gosh. How annoyed are you right now? To be very honest.
This is very actually entertaining. Haha, I improved. Good. I mean, we'll just go for it, Luke. We'll just press X or plus or minus, and we got this. All right.
Okay.
So just remember.
So that was practice.
That was practice. This is the real deal.
Okay.
This is the real deal.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Okay.
My apologies. Oh my gosh, if I was one of your listeners, I would hate
When's
you
your
so
next
much
game?
right now.
Like next. No, wait till I shoot. Wait till I shoot. All right. I'm just gonna. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not good at this.
Okay, you're getting second guessing yourself. Okay. All right, you got this. You got this jump. Okay.
Why do I do the things I do?
All right. Don't worry. Just when you land, don't move. Okay, jump. No, don't move. Don't move. All right.
I moved.
All right. Jump. Now don't move.
Just like
Now jump. We can beat them. We're kind of almost there. Okay, I need you to go. Dig it. All right.
I'm sorry. Okay, that whole jumping and telling me to not move thing, that worked.
Okay. Mr. Winner, when's your? No, it's okay. What do you mean by when's your next game? Like next stream? Martia Bandita says Luke.
Hello. Is that I recognize that name from the Discord? I think.
Yes.
So who's this guy?
This
Luigi.
is. Yes, he's. So you want to try to get him because he will be an ally and it'll help you get more stars and more coins and better. And also, so when you have him, he steals money from people as you pass them.
Okay.
So it's a beneficial, but he might be behind you though. So we'll see where he's on the map. Oh yeah, okay. Unfortunately you're behind him. He's behind you, so you can't go back.
Luigi. Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
So, roll the dice.
All right.
Is this basically? So then, how do I win? Oh, sorry.
No, it's cool.
6.
All right, so you want to go. You go. You're 11 spaces from the star, so you choose which space you want to go to. Luke is thinking.
Okay.
How's everyone doing in the chat? Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, people in the chat, I'm very sorry. I'm learning. Turbo dice.
So be careful with those. They're great, but if you're trying to get to the star, it definitely can, like, it'll make you pass it up. Like one time I used it and I was like 20 away from the star. Gosh darn it. Oh, okay. Thank God. And I literally went the star was like at 20, I rolled 24, and with that turbo one, I literally passed the star up and lost my chance of getting a star. So just be aware of that one.
Cool. So there's this podcast I love called the Acquired Podcast. They go through the history of a business and its strategy and how did they end up where they are and all this stuff. I did one on the history of Nintendo, and it is absolutely fascinating.
Really?
Yeah,
man,
it's
I didn't listen to the episode then.
So like they go back, I want to say to the mid 19th century. I can't remember if they started as this or not. Whatever business they were in, they started doing like basically illegal card gambling.
Okay, I
And
think
that's how
I
they
think
get into games.
oh, son of a gun! Dang it, Toad. I'm stressed and yet amused at watching the last game. Oh, Joe, trust me, it's that that last game was pretty. This will be even more stressful, so get ready. So
Okay.
I was reading from the chat. Sorry. I'll be doing back and forth with us, talking to you, talking to the chat, just so they're more engaged with us. All right, so
Perfect.
right now, so what's going to happen is we're all going to play a mini game, and we're trying to win him. So we all. Oh, thank God it's pinball. Thank God. Oh, this is probably one of the easier ones. So basically,
I'm sorry. Thank God. Luke doesn't know what he's doing.
But this makes great content. Okay, so this is a practice round. So just practice playing pinball essentially, and basically you're trying to get the most points.
Okay.
And yeah, so pay attention to your bumpers up on the top, because you definitely will get more points by trying to get bumping the bumpers on the top. I cannot talk. When you had told me I was speech pad, man, I was like, I feel for Luke, because I've had like the same thing where I cannot say my words. I mumble and stutter all the time. So
it happens.
I was like my 4 years old. I still can't say easy words.
No, you're doing great.
So
Man,
yeah,
I love pinball so much.
I know. I used to play Pinball Cadet on the PC when I was a kid. So I was like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna win at this game. Oh, son of a gun. And so when they do stuff like that, so you can't see. So you,
okay, I think I'm ready to go.
You ready to go? All right, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. I used to when I lived in California in the dorms when I worked at the school that boarded international students.
Press start.
We had a machine, and there was a Jurassic Park one, and me and my buddy Scott, who was on a bunch of early Catching Foxes episodes.
Yeah, I remember.
All
hey, Iceman.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All the time.
Hey, Iceman, thanks for being back. Sorry. I'm trying to do a chat and you.
You're good. You're good. I can just pause. Like if I hear you doing that, I'll try to stop talking. But we used to play, and it was paid because the president of the school wanted to like just make a little bit of money off of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was kind of annoying. We were the only ones who really did it. So, and I think he let us like take him out when it was just us.
Yeah.
Like I forget, but we played this Jurassic Park pinball game. Like we were like 25, 20 on 6. We played it so much. I'm the worst one here. We got pretty good at that one. It was like, and then my buddy he saw it at wrong one. Sorry. He wanted to like hit the other side of it to hit on the left. So it's kind of throwing me off.
Oh dang it.
We saw it at Costco, and it was like $3,000, and I was like, dude, if I had the money, I would buy it.
Catching Fox's Patreon/CF, everyone, so Luke can get his pinball machine.
Yeah, seriously, please. No, it's a left. And I would go to fix my windshield.
Oh no, what happened to your windshield?
Oh, it cracked a couple of years ago, and I just, it's getting worse. So, and I'm just like, I do not care about cars.
Yeah.
Like, I just think they're such a waste of money and of time.
Yeah.
I understand like cool cars, right? Like, I'm not saying that like they can't be fun. Like I get it. But in terms of like my personal everyday use car, I just think they are such a money suck.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
That I'm just like, it costs $700 to get this thing fixed.
Are you serious?
It should not cost as much.
No, that's ridiculous.
Now that could be just like where I got it from. So I need to see what my other options are. But yeah, like this one quote I had was that high. And I was like, that's just, how am I so bad at this?
No, we're Toad is killing us right now. It's pretty bad. Like, I don't know if I can catch up.
Part of this is, it's just like, I'm just not fast. I'm not a fast video game.
Yeah.
I remember, okay, this is going to age me, but I remember watching 40-year-old Virgin.
Yeah,
and
classic.
The scene where Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen are playing video games.
Yeah, it makes it cool.
How do they hit the buttons that fast? Like, it just like blew my mind because like I would play Bond with like all of my friends, but I didn't have it, and so I always just kind of sucked, and I just cared more about like hanging out. And so I never like, it just wasn't like my thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, thank God we didn't play Fortnite then, because it requires a lot of fast.
You would have been so mad.
Haley Lewis says, "I missed 15 minutes. I know who Luke is. Who is Iggy? I'm Iggy. I am a kind of Catholic YouTuber into just kind of playing games. It's just more I'm trying to create a space for gamers who are Catholic who like kind of want to have a place to play games and play with other Catholics online. Trying to make more wholesome content because a lot of the YouTube personalities are pretty like not so great sometimes, and so I'm just trying to find a place for other Catholic gamers and can hang out and play video games together. Also, like I'm also a video editor for a big YouTube channel that I can't say because I'll get in trouble. But also like I'm trying to connect with other video editors out there because it's very hard, especially with my company. It's very hard to find other faithful Catholics, but also just like kind of good Christians in the industry right now. So this is kind of this space I'm trying to create as well too. So thank you, Hallelujah, for being here. Iceman, good to see you too. Yeah, I've been video editing for almost 10 years now. And,
really?
Yeah.
It's like your full-time job?
Full-time job.
Nice.
Which is pretty awesome. I love what I do. Dude, we're gonna get so wrecked by Toad now. I feel like
should have gone the other way.
Yeah, you should have gone the other way. But hopefully this actually screws him over. Oh yes, this actually might screw him over. Oh, thank God. This might push him near us. Okay, good. Awesome. You won't get the start now.
To everyone who's watching, I fully expected this to be Mario Party. So I was like, wait, we're doing what? I was like, I like the speed part, kind of like the 4-player minigame. All right.
But yeah, so I'll tell you what channel I work for later, but off stream. But so let's practice. Let's see how to play this game. So essentially, it's like you're trying to get to the edge of the ice thing before you fall in the water. So it's all about timing.
Okay.
So I think
so I release the reins. Okay.
All right. So we're in practice now, I think. All right. So you kind of just have to time it. You don't want to do it too early, and you don't want to do it too late. So I usually just wait.
I don't know when it's the end.
You don't.
That's
all right. No, do it now.
Oh, I hit the wrong thing. I was just watching it. It's a hypothermia.
Great platform idea. Get people that are off of video games. Teach them how to play video games and Catholicism. Hey, that's what it's all about. You good to go, Luke?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
So what I don't get about this is I can't see, like, if you could see the whole board, that would make more sense. Or like what's in front of you.
Yeah.
But it's a total guess then, right?
Not that anyone asked me. So, but kind of what the key is, pay attention to what's going on in the background. You see the icebergs, kind of like remember like the key.
Okay.
And so that's when you kind of see when you want to let go.
Okay.
And so I actually have my buddy here over this weekend. He's doing this zine festival, and no! Oh my gosh!
Oh,
wow! I hate you so much, Luke.
New record.
So
you won? You won.
Yes! Suck it! Sorry, you wanted to be clean. Sorry.
No, just don't drop any F-bombs. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, fair. I'll try not to.
Yeah, no. Trust me.
Oh my god.
This game gets me very angry. Gets me very angry very fast. So
okay,
like,
well, and you know what? It takes me like I need basically. This has been true like my entire life with things. I need like 1 or 2 experiences before I really get it.
yeah.
And so, like, I played Catan with some good buddies of mine.
Oh, I love Catan.
It's just like, yeah, and I thought I had played it before, but I hadn't.
And yeah, so you just got.
Did this send me back?
Yeah, send you back. So this is why I hate this map. Like, it's literally.
Oh.
Also, I Am Proof says yes, Luke, for you winning. All right, who do I want to scoot over? All right, sorry, Daisy, you're getting too close. Oh, I have no money. Oh my god. Ugh, great. I don't know what to do. Awesome. Are you serious?
1.
Wow, this see, that's what I'm telling you. This game freaking hates me. So
Why do you lose 3?
So you want to land on the blue squares because that gives you money.
Okay.
If you land on the red square
okay.
or circle, sorry, I know shapes. You lose money. So
okay, so you see what I mean? It takes me a couple. You may have even told me that, and I was like,
hey, look, man, this is all great content, man. This is all great content. You know, it's just you learning playing Mario Party. Me
all
having
these
to teach you.
Gen Zers are like, what are these older millennials? I'm just like,
it's like, when does this get interesting? Don't say that, guys. This is the best content ever.
Is that what they said? That's fair.
No. I'm just making a joke.
I was like, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I'll talk. Pope Francis, boo! Is that what you guys want me to say?
It says, I Am Proof says, you're right about getting the short end of the stick when it comes to dice. Yeah, no,
okay. Here comes Buddha. Steal my coins.
All right, so you need to smash that button really fast.
Which button?
Yeah, do A. Well, dude, Luke, we're gonna lose, man. I think the CPU's got it this match. I think we're definitely gonna lose. Freaking Toad, man. Actually, I should go after Toad.
Well, you know what I should have done too? I should have done the one where, like, I was having fun with Emily playing the. I mean, she wasn't playing really. She was just watching and jumping up and down, which is great. And then she wanted to watch me play Zelda. I'm like, all right.
Then.
And then she keeps going, that's Zelda, that's Zelda. I'm like, no, that's Link. And then she'd get angry. Then she'd go, let's just call him Zelda. I was like, okay. And then she'd go, where is she? I go, who? And she goes, Zelda. I'm like, kids. 2 versus 2. All right, me versus you. Me and.
All right, you're going down, Luke. You're going down. Toad, let's get them.
Probably.
It says, Haley says, also, if you want to get 500, get someone to post it in the CDD Discord. Okay, I'll try it. I'll think about it. Oh, God, I hate this game.
What is a CDC Discord? Am I trying to stomp on the
yeah, you're
the
going to start. Yeah. I am not sure. Haley, is what Discord is that one? Is that I know Haley, we were in the same Discord and another Discord together, which now I'm kind of blanking on that Discord. I am so sorry. What is it called? All right. Dang, I hate this game so much because I keep missing these things. Oops.
All right, I'm as good as I'm gonna get.
You just want to get? Yeah,
let's do it.
Let me check that Discord.
Haley, what's new? It's been a while.
Start.
All right, come on, Toad. Don't let me down. Actually, I'm just let Toad. Honestly, just stick on one. I think Daisy will just carry you. I don't let Toad carry me.
People watching me getting so angry and being like, it's a clip on.
Come on, Yoshi, get better. Sorry, Toad. Oh no. Oh, sorry, Luke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Once again, I let the women in my life down.
No. Hey, look, man. You got Mario Party, so that counts for something now, you know?
Yeah. 4th place. Because they lost those 8.
Yeah.
Wait, how many coins does the
A star costs 20 coins.
Okay. How do I use? Okay, so I use my items here. I'm gonna do that because I'm really far behind.
But also be careful because you might, if you roll too high, you might pass the star.
Okay. So if I want to view the board, okay, I'm just trying to get a feel for like how this all works. Okay. Okay. I'm good.
You got this, Luke. I believe in you.
So what screen can the people see?
They see my screen. So they didn't see you looking at the map right now.
Okay. And then do I just hit?
Oh.
And then. Uh-oh. Low.
Oh, perfect. Nice. All right, go. You want to go?
Oh my gosh, I am the winner.
Ooh. Oh, and perfect. If you get that 12 coins, you might actually have enough to buy a star now. Okay, maybe not, but.
Okay.
You just need to win the next game, and you got this.
All right.
I'll help you win the next match.
USA.
Is soccer still going on?
It never ends.
It never ends. Okay, so I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really watch much sports, and so the only time I hear about soccer is when obviously listening to you guys. Oh gosh, darn it! Are you serious? Luke, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That was all me. Well, you almost had a chance to get a star, and that's.
I'm never gonna forgive you, but yeah. So right now it's what's called an international break. So players that are able to play or are chosen to play for the international teams, they're all playing games, international games. So right now the U.S. is in a thing called Nations League, which is it's a tournament. It's an ongoing tournament against all of our regional opponents. They're glorified friendlies. It's really annoying, but it just because Europe is doing it now, everyone else is kind of forced to do it because they have by far the most teams in terms of both quality and just the sheer number of teams.
Yeah.
So the U.S. plays Jamaica. They won away, which is a big deal because it's not easy to win away in our region.
Yeah.
It's hot. They tend to they will keep the grass very long. This guy won.
Well, he's got literally Toad has the most money. We're screwed, dude. We're so screwed.
I see what you mean. This is really rigged. I'm sorry that I chose it. I'll do better next time. So yeah, and I know a lot of ketchup boxing people do not care about this at all. But
no, we're here for it. Dude. We're here for it.
Bonus minigame.
We have actually no joke. Our coach right now threw up just snag the flag. Okay. Through a lot of, I don't know if happenstance is the right word, but he is one of the best coaches. So I just run and grab the flags.
Yep, that's all you need to do.
This is the Mario that I like.
This is very simple, very easy.
I get what's going on.
You don't have to be jumping on platforms. Also, Halia, thank you for clarifying Catholic Diocese of Discord. I will definitely check it out. Thank you for.
Oh, that's cool.
And yes, the Kyle's Discord. Yes, that's the Discord we are both a part of. Thank you for reminding me to promote there. Appreciate you. Also, I think Haley also has. Haley, you have a YouTube channel as well, right? If you do, let everyone know about your
I know
YouTube
that
channel.
Haley had a YouTube channel.
I'm pretty sure, and hopefully
Haley's in the Discord, right? She's in the Catch Boxes one?
Yeah. I hope you didn't mind me bringing up your YouTube channel, Haley. Hope you're okay. If you want to promote it, go ahead and promote it in your chat, in the chat. And if anyone else who also has a YouTube channel, please promote your YouTube channel.
Hello. All right, I'm ready to go.
All right, just press start.
So, what was I gonna say?
Soccer.
Much more my speed. Oh yeah. So it just. Oh come on! That was you. You're
That's
fine.
Me.
yeah, it's like there's just a lot of stuff going on, and it's
Screw
fun.
you.
But it. Oh, I hit the jackpot, mofo. Sorry.
No, we got no, don't. Okay, just don't see the real thing.
It's a Daniel Tosh joke that.
Yeah. I love him.
Gomer and I used to just laugh and laugh and laugh.
No, I haven't. Obviously, I haven't been watching his stuff because I think it's still on. Is he on Comedy Central? Comedy Central still?
He's not. I was never the biggest fan of his shows. I thought it was real, like a little bit too crude and just too. I'm not the biggest fan of making fun of people.
Yeah.
For that type of instead of like actual like people, ideas or whatever, or the concept or like stereotypes. And by stereotypes, I just mean like when a comedian talks about like Republicans in general, or Democrats in general, or people from the West Coast, or a particular city.
Notre.
So like,
Yeah.
I guess perhaps demographics would be a better word than stereotypes.
Yeah.
But his stand-up, I just thought it was. I loved it. Until he got like his early stuff. Basically, there's one album of his that Gomer and I would listen to, and it was. I think it's called "True Stories I Made Up." We talked about it on the most recent episode of Catching Foxes.
Which also, I'm so sorry. Please, I mean, I know, but I think I feel like everyone in chat knows who you are. But just in case there are some people who are in the chat who don't know you are, like, do you want to like talk about Catching Foxes for a bit? I'm so sorry I did not give you an opportunity for that.
No. Yes. So, Catching Foxes is a podcast that I do with my best friend. His name is Michael Gormley. I've known him as Gomer my entire life. So to me, that's his name. To call him, I've gotten. It honestly used to be very weird to hear people call him Michael or call him Mike. I just kind of want to like laugh at him. Like, stop it.
That's too formal. Come on.
But yeah, sorry, I dropped my remote. I screw you over. So we're approaching the right now is the 10th anniversary of me getting the idea for the podcast. I started to brainstorm it and coming up with it. You can see it, and I went through. I don't know if I put this on the Discord or not, but I was doing a thing with the guy that edits our podcast. He's got his own that he's starting, so I was doing his show and talking about the beginning of Catching Foxes.
Yeah. Joey?
Joe Coleman from Coleman Creates. If you want anyone to edit a podcast for you, Joe's great at that. He's a phenomenal editor. So I found our old document on my Google Drive, and I just was able to see all of our notes for like when we were creating the show and stuff. And so it's a podcast with the intersection of Catholicism and culture. And not really about it. It's more, I would say, the point of view. That's kind of like where we like to. Basically, that's the framework. That's where we exist. Is there. And we use culture in the broadest sense possible. So it's not like just pop culture. It's how we live our lives, productivity types of things, different types of philosophy. Like there's the kind of like the shared experiences, the shared way of life we all have in the broadest sense possible. So that's why we'll have a whole episode about like, it's been a while specifically for like getting things done or different productivity hacks that we like, because it's like a shared way of doing things, right? Which that helps create culture. And so we've been very lucky. We did it at just the right time. It was the right thing at the right time.
No, you guys. I mean, honestly, cool. It's cool. I mean, it's so funny because like obviously because you guys introduced him. Well, I would say I knew Follow My Schmicks because I did Net Ministries back in 2014, 2015.
Where did you do that?
I was in the Midwest, so I was where was I at? I was mostly in the the states I was in was Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, parts of Oklahoma. We also were in Ohio for a bit too. Went to Reynoldsburg, but I think we went to Mass for St. Mary's, which I didn't hear you just talk about that.
Old St. Mary's?
I think Old St. Mary's. I think we went to Mass there for Christmas, I believe. or Thanksgiving.
That's a great place to go to mass.
Yeah. No, it was the mass
Okay.
was awesome. I remember it was just because like one of the team members, he's from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, and so we stayed with his family during that period, and we went to mass there, and it was phenomenal. And it's so funny because like
one of my
get back here.
that's one of my favorite churches in probably anywhere. It's so great.
You know, it's a beautiful church. And the homily the priest gave was just like, oh, it's so on point. He was so like he knew he knew his stuff.
Yeah, they're really good priests there. Like very well rounded. They're good people. Really good people. Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for how this works.
Okay, good. It only took halfway through the game, but we're getting
If you want to skip everything and start now, I understand that. It is a fault of mine.
No, this is perfect. And so basically, I mean, honestly, I've lived in Texas all my life, and I got to experience the Midwest, and I fell in love with the Midwest. Like it was like, I love the small towns. I love the people were so homey there.
Actual culture.
Yeah. And like surprisingly, Iowa. I forgot what the city was called, but like there was like these beautiful lakes that we saw there, and like I was like, this is in the middle of the country. Like I had no idea this existed, and it was a whole different experience, and the fact that like we went to. I had to see my friend. He loved the Ohio State University. He was a big Ohio State fan, and you know, we went there during the fall time, and oh my gosh,
it's beautiful,
so beautiful, and it was really funny too. Also, we went to Notre Dame. We did a retreat there, and a beautiful. Like we went to experience the mass at the church. We met a guy who basically ran the. All right, screw you, Toad.
Yeah, seriously.
He ran like a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and so he brought us onto the Notre Dame field and like showed us around everywhere. He took us to the I guess the box where the TV people spoke. We went on top of that and got a whole view of the Notre Dame field. Like he showed us a side of Notre Dame that no one gets to see. It was phenomenal. I was like, this is an awesome.
That's cool.
Like honestly, just like such a huge blessing that whole year was. I mean, it was very very stressful and very very hard, but at the same time too, like, you know, one of my favorite memories. Oh gosh darn it! Screw you, Toad. Literally screw you.
Yeah, sorry, I need to drink my coffee here.
Midwest
great
supremacy.
audio content.
I know.
So, what was I gonna say?
Your time at Notre Dame. Should I play the song for everybody?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, honestly, I actually kind of wanted to hear about your just kind of like your grad school experience, because you know, just I feel like you talked about it a little bit about it on Catching Foxes, but I just kind of like want to hear more about the program, hear about like what was your favorite classes, what. Sure. And like one of the things I wanted to ask is like, okay, for people who are listening and thinking about going to grad school, like what would you tell them about them approaching how to approach grad school, and like what would you done differently, and what would you do the same type of thing? So I would love to hear about it.
Great question. Okay, so I think the most important part of grad school is basically, I would say, what do you want to accomplish? There are really like a couple things. One is there a question in your field that isn't answered that you want answered? That's more of a PhD route when you're going that way if you are very serious about that. But if you see yourself engaging with something you do on a deeply intellectual or theoretical level, and you have questions, but there aren't necessarily clear answers to that within your field, grad school is a great start to like answer those questions to become an expert. And that's why essentially you would get a PhD is there's a question I have, there is no answer. I want to be the one to find the answer to this.
Yeah.
And I went to grad school because I worked at that time for a Catholic organization called the Glen Mary Home Missioners. They're a group of priests and brothers who. Do I just take a picture?
So you see the middle picture? You're trying to match that as best as possible.
Okay.
So
okay. That makes sense.
It's kind of difficult trying to aim the thing. So
yeah.
Okay. This one's kind of fun. Kind of sucks, but it's fine.
That's fine.
But if you want to practice some more, we can practice a bit.
Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I get it. I'm not good. I'm not good. Okay, so anyways, I was with the Glen Mary Home Missioners. I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to. Oh, they left. Oh, I missed it.
Dang it! Yeah.
I wanted to. I knew I was going to get the professional, and this is not anything against Glen Mary at all. They're wonderful, wonderful people with a wonderful, wonderful mission. But having worked at the Archdiocese and all these other things, I was like, okay, I'm not going to get the professional development that I want to get better in my career. And so I was like, I wanted just basically to be more competitive with different jobs I would be applying for in the future. I'm fine to start this.
Yeah, press start.
Okay, and so I wanted to move into more leadership roles at that point in time. That's kind of let me put it this way: I'd always been doing that. Yeah, and that had kind of been the norm. And I was like, there's just things that I don't know that I want to know about I want to know like what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and
so I was like, okay, so what's the best program for this? And I basically I remember, I think I wanted to do this like head of, like maybe when I was at the Archdiocese, I remember talking with a buddy of mine at Steubenville about this. I wanted to basically get like an MBA for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And that just did not I'm at the wrong one. That did not really exist anywhere. Other than I started to see there was a thing like that at like Walsh had something, Steubenville was considering a thing, and so, but Notre Dame pretty much had one. And I saw this. It was an executive master's in nonprofit administration, and it was exactly what I wanted, which was, okay, here's an overview. Here's like an executive master's level overview and understanding of all the different things that I need to know about to be a leader at a nonprofit. So I don't have to be an expert in accounting, but what do I need to know about accounting to be able to speak the same language as an accountant? And so that's kind of, and like, what are some of the essential things that I need to know from like a nonprofit, a law standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, from a development standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, from what are some elements of stats? And so it was basically all these things that were like, okay, this is the stuff that like I want to know, and it has been incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to go, which is like, hey, there are things that I don't know that I think if I knew, it would help me advance in my career. Or what's even cool about that is you can find certain things that, oh, I didn't realize that I actually really like doing this.
Yeah.
This would be a thing that I would do. For me, that was marketing and nonprofit law. I really enjoyed nonprofit law. Oh, the blue's good. Never mind. A bunch.
Oh, you got a good hidden block. Cool. Nice.
Yeah. So, but the most important thing, and this is not, I went to Notre Dame because of basically it is Notre Dame and academic. Oh, that's great. And academic standards. That's what I really cared about. I just jumped to the lead, I think. Nope. Never mind.
I mean, you have more money. That's for sure. All right, I need to steal a star from freaking Daisy because I don't think I'm gonna get a star this game.
I need to. Oh, so it's.
So we all have a we're given because this game felt sorry for us. We were given a star trap, and you place it on the map. You can steal a star from someone, and the only person who has a star is Daisy right now because literally we cannot get a freaking star. Because this game hates us. Are you serious?
One.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, continue.
No, you're fine. So I went to Notre Dame because of the standards. It's Notre Dame, right? That's what I wanted. Like I wanted to. Oh, come on.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. So, but I also knew that one of the big points of grad school is the networking and the community that you get out of that. Like basically increasing your network.
Yeah.
So I went and did that, and that's why let me back up here. I'm trying to like watch and talk, which I can't do it.
Yeah, no.
So I wanted to do something that was in person.
Yeah.
Because of the networking part and getting to know the people in your cohort or in your classes. To me, that was really important. Like expanding my network was really the most important part of all that to me.
Yeah.
So I chose Notre Dame because it seemed to me like the perfect fit of all of those things. I think.
Yeah.
Academics. Strong academics. Oh boy, it's their admissions department's probably like beyond embarrassed right now. Strong academics. I wanted that deep understanding of the nonprofit field and all the areas that I needed to know and understand.
Yeah.
And then and the network. And so because it was 10. Oh, we just move around and it's trying.
Yeah,
to
you avoid me.
All right, I got it. So it is. They now switch it to where it's 9 weeks on campus as opposed to 10, which I don't like.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. Just to be honest, like, I love the program. I encourage people to do it. But oh no, you got me. Oh no.
Give me your money. Yoshi needs a new star.
I know, I'm trying to like get this guy over towards you.
Give me your toad. Give me your money.
Go after the toad. But I like that it was a mix of on campus and online. The classes, when it was good, it was really, really good. Like one of my proudest accomplishments ever, just in life in general, was in the nonprofit law course because it was hard. It was a whole semester. It felt like one of the more because some of the other courses are it's over 2 weeks, it's so intense. You're in class. When you're on campus, you basically have a class over the span of, if it's 3 credits, 2 weeks, 4 to 5 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, depending upon what's going on.
Yeah.
So with homework at night, so it's a lot, and you don't necessarily because it's business school. You're doing more. It's a lot of projects. There is research. There's not a ton of research. It's a lot more project based.
Yeah.
And you're like flying through these like deep ideas. But I was surprised at the amount that did stay with me. But when you do the online courses, you have a bit, because it's just like it is a normal online course. It's over the course of a normal semester. You get a bit more depth than you would in the 2 weeks. But again, within the 2 weeks, you still get a lot. And you get basically what you need to know about a lot of that stuff. And so it's the program's called, it's an Executive Master's of Nonprofit Administration. I basically like told one person that I was applying, and that was it. Because I did not think I was going to get in.
Yeah.
And I did. And so, like, I remember calling my mom and surprising her with that was just so cool.
Yeah, I bet.
Because she just, had no one knew. I told my then wife, like, he's the only one who knew. And my people that, sorry, that's not true. The people that wrote my letters of recommendation. So 3 other people knew.
Yeah.
And one was a Notre Dame alum that I worked with who was, because I was like, I was, I don't know if I could academically hang, if I was, and she was like, no, you could totally do it. Like, she wrote a great letter of recommendation. It was just great. It was really, really, it was cool. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I would say if you are, to get to your question, if you are wanting to apply to grad school, just ask, like, what do I want out of it, right? And if it fits any of those things right there, then I think, like, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, because it really just comes down to, like, how do you want it to help your career?
Mm-hmm.
And I would encourage you to really just kind of see, like, what do I want to do, and is this program the best fit for that? And I think with my program at Notre Dame, the strongest part was the network. To be blunt, some of the classes were a little bit too easy.
Yeah.
That was one of the frustrations of some people there, was we felt like some of the really the adjuncts were just easy.
Yeah.
But, like, some people, like, wanted it to be easy, which is, like, really annoying. I was like, no, like, this is graduate school. Like, you're paying for an experience, not for, like, a degree, right?
Yeah.
And it really is like, are you gonna put the time in to, like, make this worth it on all those areas in terms of building up your network, understanding the content, growing your skill sets as a professional. Like, I'm at the point right now where, like, I've even considered going to law school for estate planning and for plan giving.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to do that. It's just, I'm too much work, and I'm tired of school, and I just want to focus on stuff that I want to, I don't want to go to school for 3 more years, right?
Yeah, geez,
it's just, yeah, it's not, like, I will say this, like, grad school is, if you're single, I really encourage you to do it when you're single, like,
yeah, and
not just because of something that happened with me and, like, my own marriage, but just, it didn't help, but it was not the cause of, like, my divorce by any means unnecessary, but, like, it's just hard. It's very, everyone I know, I remember in the beginning, we were all just like, yeah, my spouse is pretty pissed at me right now. Not like because they're in the program, but just like, you're gone for 2 weeks, right? Or like in my case, you're gone for 1 month, or you're the kids are having a hard time going to bed, but you've got to go to class for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then you've got to do homework for maybe 3 to 5 hours or 10 hours a week, depending upon how intense the courses or your skill set in that. The nonprofit law course was a ton of reading, and I really enjoyed it. And Aaron was incredibly supportive during all of that. Incredibly supportive. And, I was able to, like...
Hey, I recommend using a double dice right now in your items.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that I had that. Sorry.
No. You can get an ally that could definitely help you out. Or help me out. We'll see which way it goes.
I don't know. I think I got something.
Well, that was pointless.
I know it's that close.
You got through the laps.
I'm learning. Yeah, but no, it was a really great experience. I learned a bunch, and it is very taxing on your time. And you're just like, I remember taking 2 courses. I was just trying to wrap it all up. This would have been spring of, when was it? No, I'm sorry, fall of 2023, which was just a really hard time in my life. Work was really stressful. I was coming out of a divorce. It was just like truly just a horrific period. Horrific. You can hear it on one of the podcasts. We did it with me and Miss Ruby because Gomer couldn't be there. I'm like, I'm falling apart.
Yeah.
Like, I'm falling apart right now. It was the most, that is the most, I don't think it was voyeuristic or exhibition. I don't know the right term there. Like in terms of like I'm going through a thing, let me just throw my pain in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I think it was, but it was kind of the most like I'm not in a good place, because there were things I wanted to like talk through that weren't necessarily pertaining to my life. They were more about like bigger things, but I was coming at it from a place of like I'm not in a good spot though, so let me just be clear. And it was the closest I've ever been to like just of it just kind of being like I'm in over my head.
Yeah.
Like, I'm clearly in over my head. Oh, okay, so we put this. Okay.
You try to mask the picture. It's
So I would just be careful, like, just understand that, like, it's when you go into graduate school.
It's like a full-time job, and it's going to be something that's going to be very demanding of you and your time. And if I guess you said, like, if you're married or with someone, it's definitely going to take time away from that. And if I totally get it.
Yep.
I remember dating in college, and I was there was definitely times where, and also I was also an RA too, and so like juggling being RA, relationships, classes, schools, like it was definitely really stressful, and I had to deal with some really hard cases. You just go to the door. That's it. I mean, when you land on the guy, you get a little bonus. It makes this thing easier for you. So now you need to figure out which one's the odd one out. But no, I just like I had to deal with a lot of stressful things as an RA and just in college in general. And like I was just like, man, this would have been so much easier if I was single, and like would really wish I like. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, the relationships were good. I mean, I'm no longer with that person I was with during college, but like, definitely, and just so like, I also, unfortunately, went through a divorce as well too.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's we could talk about like off thing, but like, it was definitely like. It was hard for me because I'm just like so like, when I heard about the other thing you're going through, I was like, man, I was praying for you because I know how hard that is. And even like especially because like it was like going through 2020, I was like, man, what a year to have be going through a divorce. But like even like it was going through that time period of my life, it was hard, but like I guess the graces of God was just kind of always there for me, and just like relying on Him on those hard moments.
Yep.
And like and the thing is too, it's like during that time too, it's like, well, I have to work, I still need to make income and stuff like that. So I don't know where I was kind of going with this idea, but I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm gonna apologize. Because I'm trying to pay attention to the game too.
You're good.
But yeah, sorry. That's all I wanted to say. Gosh darn it, where the heck?
I do encourage people, like, if you want to get, like, grad school is definitely worth it, in my opinion. Like, it. You can get the money for, like I don't know, it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. It can definitely be expensive for some people, like, for sure. I don't want to.
Did you like take like were you teach classes to help like help pay for the stuff?
No, because like you're not, when we're on campus, we're so. Oh, I thought it was like a mystery item. We're so busy that it you're not like a TA or anything like that.
Yeah,
but if you apply early enough, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how this is supposed to work. I think I get it. Okay, here. Then I guess I go to here.
Oh man.
When we're on campus, we have like no time.
Yeah.
Like it's just we have to, like basically like our first time we ate out at a lot of restaurants because we were all so new, getting to know each other. You try to get a feel for the program. You just kind of bond and because we're all like I'm living alone and that sucks. So you're just trying to spend time with like a lot of people and just get through it. And then when the time I went back, the next 3 summers, we all got an Airbnb. So we didn't go out nearly as much. And but like, you're still, like, when we're home, you're just doing homework.
Yeah.
Even when, because theoretically, the last class we're supposed to be taking is a policy. It's basically a strategy course. It combines everything. And I thought, it'll be nice to have like half a day. I'll be able to work part-time. Not the slightest. It was because you're just like, we had to read and write. So that was the one that was the most, which some people would view as a traditional grad course. A lot of reading, a lot of writing, but in 2 weeks.
Jeez,
so where the law course was that, but over the 3 months,
Yeah.
And that was the one that I was top 10% in my class for the law course, and I was like, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
And it was, that was so much writing, so much reading, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoy that stuff a lot. So, but yeah, it definitely, I probably say the thing I haven't actually like maximized the most is the networking from a professional standpoint. I mean, well, which sounds weird because I have such good friends. And in the beginning, you start to talk a lot about like your jobs and what you're doing and all that stuff. And then by the time you're done, you're just talking about life the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that I did not use it to my advantage as much the more I went through the course. Because again, like when I was with my cohort, we just get to know everyone. Your conversations become less about work and more about like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. Or like my kid's driving me nuts. Like it just, it comes out like, you start to share a lot more of like that personal stuff.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of the work stuff, like there's not much more to say it seems. And so, because like some of my best friends now are like from this cohort.
Yeah, that's awesome. So basically you're choosing where you think where I'm going to pop up at.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which this game is... Played this last night and it's basically... It's broken. Oh, thank God. Oh, sweet, tight.
Okay. This makes sense.
No, it's funny because like, I sometimes I think about like trying out looking into grad school type of stuff, but like honestly it for me like for like being a video editor, other than teaching like film and like videography type of stuff, it doesn't really make sense for me for improving my career because like it's like. Yeah, I can make more money, but like the whole point of for at least because like, it's weird because like honestly when I was in college I didn't think I was gonna be in the YouTube space. Like I thought I was like, oh, I'll get like a full-time maybe like either working for a film set or working for some type of production. And I was like, oh, there's no way I work for a YouTube channel. Like, YouTube is so dumb. Gosh darn it. And here I am, like, 10 years later, working for a YouTube channel, like a YouTube channel, and like, it's actually like actual sustainable like a way of living. And I was just like, well, that's it. And the whole way you grow your career for, like as a video editor or a videographer, it's like it's just doing big projects, like or just either working for big channels or working for it's kind of like knowing once again networking, but like showing your demo reel that's like, hey, I worked on this film. This is the stuff I I filmed. I mean, grad school can, in a sense, can give you an opportunity to make those things, but like, it all becomes it kind of comes down to like, does your work show that you can make either film something correctly, like lighting and color correction, all, like the whole thing. And if you don't have that demo to show that, like, you know, no company's gonna hire you, essentially.
Yeah.
And so like it's just like I would love the idea of being able to go to grad school, but like it just like for career wise for me, it just like other than the networking thing, it just like, man, like how it sucks because I would love to do it, but just like career wise, it just like it would take time away from making more other content and like building my resume, essentially my demo reel resume. But yeah, I just like hearing your just hearing about your experience on the podcast, I was like, man, just for the community aspect and just being around like peers who are kind of like all trying to you know, grow in their careers, grow in like community and like help build each other up. It sounds like awesome.
It is, and it's one of the cool things about it is this is, I would imagine, program to program, and this wasn't perfect at Notre Dame either. Like,
you're welcome, by the way. You just got 30 coins from me. Thank you, Daisy.
Oh,
Jeez
Daisy, you rock.
Jeez Louise, getting wrecked. I told you I'm last place right now. And this is the last turn. This is ridiculous. I hate all of this.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
My Jules, you like, do you, okay, I will say this. There's something about being around people that are the best of the best.
Yeah.
And it helps you up your game. And to be able to see, like, there's something about being able to see that, oh, I can hang with this person at this level. That's cool. Yeah. Which you can get at work, but it just depends, you know, but you're constantly getting that. You're either pulling people up, or you're able to see that you're being pulled up, or that you can compete. Not compete, but you can like work at like on this level with this kind of a person. You're getting that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and that's really cool.
Yeah. And
it's great when you like. I remember for my stats course, my good buddy Dave, one of my best friends. Dave is like just brilliant with stats and math. He's brilliant at that. Yeah. Dave is a smart man, and he doesn't come across like he'd be good at that stuff. He's just like an outgoing, kind, and friendly person. A lot of my experience, people who are very good at math, aren't necessarily like that. But I remember our stats course. Now he had a bit of a background in that in his undergrad, but he was just like, he knew it all, and I was like, oh, this is cool. See, this is kind of Mario stuff that I love.
Oh, I know.
Just lots of fire. I remember it just, Dave was like the one that I was like, okay, I don't get this. Like, you know, and he would kind of help me out and stuff. And we were doing we had the final, and my typical MO for the finals was just like to take out the last time possible and study as much as I could. And Dave just goes, dude, it's all in your head. You understand this as well as you're going to for these 2 weeks. Just take it now. Like, do it right after, like right now. Like, right as we are done, just go home, take it. And then, because we had one more final for our board relations course. So I did that, and he was 100% right. Like, I got an A- in that course.
Oh wow!
And I got like my basically like A- is by far my most common grade. I got an A, like a 4.0 in terms of like they have like a weird weighted thing at the College of Business. Like, either like it kind of pulls you down a bit, to be honest. But it's also grad school, so everyone's getting an A, so everyone just ends up with an A- for the most part, unless you're like top. And so I
press start
like
already.
that. Okay, sorry. I was just playing it on here.
It was like, oh, we're all winning here.
I was like, right, this is fun. No, but like that type of, you know, like Dave upping my game in that sense and show me like, okay, like I can hang with this, like I can do, that, and also particularly with our course as an executive, which is a thing, and I'm actually still like kind of learning how to really do this well. You're forced to like compartmentalize everything because you have so much stuff coming at you. You have to learn, how do I only focus on what is essential here, and if I don't get this, I don't have the time or really the ability to go very deep on this. I won.
Yeah,
but,
good. Screw you, dude.
Yeah, but
good job. Good job.
Like I learned, like, okay, if I don't get this within 20 minutes, I need to be asking questions right now.
Yeah.
Like I cannot spend any longer than 15 to 20 minutes. This was like particularly true in the stats course. I remember this one point in time, I spent an hour on this, and I went to my stats teacher about it. And we're done.
We're done. We did it, dude. We did it. And, I mean, we didn't do it because we got wrecked, but we did it.
And yes, and I realized what I was doing wrong, and I remember she just goes, "Yeah, no S, Sherlock." Like I thought I was, and like a fun way, right? She was really funny about it. And she goes through the whole race. Oh, Daisy wins because she got Toad.
No, Toad really. I told you Toad was gonna win.
Yeah, but like, I remember her telling me, like, if it takes you any more than 15 minutes or so, stop and just come to one of the evening sessions. Because you do an evening session to answer anyone's questions.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that I saw was true throughout all of my courses. Was just having to learn, like, oh, if I don't get this within 20 minutes, I need to go talk to someone.
Yeah.
Which has been great in my career. I'm learning. And so like, that's like, and then, so there is something about just being around people that are going to help you up your game. And then also for you, I'd say if it is video stuff, do you want to get better from a theoretical standpoint, from like an artistic standpoint, kind of that like, or do you want to get better technically? And those two aren't necessarily separate.
That's oh my gosh, how did I win? I was losing the whole time. No freaking way.
There you go.
There we go. Well, this is the key of Mario Party. Don't try and you win somehow at the end. Wonderful.
No, but like if you like won all that stuff, like it might be worth it because it gives you, again, like my graduate program was different because you're covering everything.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like, and there are pros and cons to that, but it kind of presumes, like, when you have an executive master's, it presumes you're already really good at this one thing, and you're like a leader in this field, in this area here. But here's all the other stuff that you need to know to be a good C-level executive.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's the point of it. Gotcha.
Also, I'm so sorry, Luke, but you got last place, man. This game really screwed you.
I'm loving just talking.
Yeah, no. Honestly, just to hear all this stuff is great. I just want to look at the stats real fast. So, let's see how you got the most lucky spaces. Way to go.
That makes sense.
Most event spaces.
Carry luck.
You definitely bought the events. Let's see. You got the most coins. You got the most coinage.
Yeah, like by far.
And then you got the most hidden blocks. So you just couldn't land any stars, man. You couldn't land any stars.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So we're I think we're at the hour and a half mark. I don't know. We're on time. I don't know if you want to like just do mini games, keep talking. Like, how do you want to? Proceed with this?
How about I would love to keep going, but I have to be responsible. So let's go for another like 20 minutes or so. And then that way I'll be able to like, then I can, because I'm going to have to eat lunch here at noon or I get cranky and...
I'm cranky Luke for the stream. That makes it makes more content so I can make a short about it and be like, Luke from Catchy Fox's rages on my channel.
Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah.
Let's hopefully transferring points to your save data. Let's see if we can do mini games together.
Yeah.
Because actually, okay, so I have like a couple other questions I want to ask. They're kind of fun questions, but I always like I've always just been curious about.
I love. Yeah. Yeah.
So hang on, let me see.
I love to answer questions. So.
All right. So hey, let's. Oh yeah. Also, for everyone still hanging out with us, I really appreciate hanging with us. If you guys have any questions for Luke, please drop it in the chat. Just so Luke can give us his insight on life events or life. Where the heck are the games? Yeah, what's up?
Can I ask a really random question? Just because I'm sitting down for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Can I go on like a really quick walk and talk to you still?
Yeah.
I know that's weird. Okay.
No.
It'll just help. I know that's so odd, but one, I absolutely love doing that.
Yeah.
And then two, I just need to move. So,
yeah. No worries.
Perfect. No, like one of my favorite things to do in the world is to walk and talk.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is like a. Sorry, I'm doing the worst thing to do, which is like putting on clothes with my headphones on, putting on my hoodie. But I love it.
Where's the webcam, dude? Let's see the show.
Yeah, exactly. I have like also the good part about grad school is you get a bunch of clothes with your with like your school's name on and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just like I wear my Notre Dame. I mean, I bought this, but like it does become like I don't know. It's kind of cool because it's. It's like going to college. You have this new experience. You build this new thing, and it's just cool. Like it's just kind of cool to, I'm very glad it's done. But there is a part of me that is sad because it's such a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And the people you get to meet, it's a way to like. If you need a bit of change, I don't know. I'm not saying to go to grad school to like change yourself or your life. I don't think that is like a top reason.
Yeah.
It is an added benefit though.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool to be like, oh, I'm different because of this now.
Yeah.
Like,
for
my
sure.
life is better because I did this thing right here. I have these new people in my life because of graduate school. Like that's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like well, another reason why I can't really do grad school right now is because like I'm also engaged and my wedding. We're going to be married. Yeah. So a little bit about like fortunately, my previous marriage. Didn't work out, which I talk about off stream, but I was able to get an annulment and everything. Part of the thing was my ex-wife did not want children, and I was just like, I want children, and this is not gonna fly. So got the annulment, everything that's all done in the thing. Met another wonderful woman. I won't say her name on thing just for her protection, but beautiful Italian woman. We're getting married next year. Super excited, and it's been wonderful. So that's like another reason why I went to grad school. It's just like, well, I need to pay for this wedding first, and then so that's gonna be like that's kind of like our focus right now is the wedding and everything. But like kind of like thinking long term type of wise, it's like okay, like what's better for both of us type of thing. It's like well. Would grad school be something after the weddings? And like seeing how, I mean, obviously hearing the experience how it's going to be taxing for for a newlywed, but also like how to manage our careers and stuff like that. Maybe not be the best, but I know it's doable. But that's like another reason why I was like, man, like I couldn't like, I don't know if I could do another 2 years of schooling. But yeah, so definitely.
I would definitely wait until like you're at least 1 year into your marriage to go to grad school.
Okay.
I would not. Yeah, like I would wait at least a year so you could get that first year down. You know, you could have a kid by the point in time, but you'll just like once, because like what grad school will do is completely disrupt your cadence. So there is an argument to be made for like doing it now, but I think the cadence of your marriage and developing what that's going to look like is way more important than like you advancing in your graduate school, like in your academics.
Yeah.
You know, so like it can wait. Like let me put it that way. Like I'm big, like remember like the right time to really do it. Oh, okay, sorry.
You're back.
I don't know if there's, okay, I don't know if there's the right time to like do anything. You know, I think there's always, you can always say like, here's a pro, here's a con, but I do think that there is a like what's more important, and a marriage is infinitely more important than grad school. Infinitely.
Yeah.
So I would never tell anyone that like, oh no, it's fine. Like it's way more important, right?
Yeah.
So just understanding like what your priorities are. So I don't know if that's helpful.
No, it is.
Yeah.
So if we can go on some of the questions I've been wanting to ask you guys.
Sure. Yeah, do it.
So one of the questions I've always like when you guys do is like 10-minute topics. Here's be one topic I always wanted to ask you guys. If you and Gomer were able to go on the Joe Rogan podcast, what would you guys want to talk about with him? And
good question.
Or like, well, I just like that. Like you know, how would you want to approach talking to Joe Rogan? Would it just be for fun? Would it be like he was like, hey, you know, it seems like he's going on like a, you know, deeper meaning of life of recently, because you know I was always talking to Dr. Jordan Peterson and that whole crew.
Yeah.
But what would you want to talk to him about if you had a chance?
Great question. Okay, so I think the first thing I kind of would want to talk to him about is, are we analyzing the wrong things to death?
Yeah.
You know, how much more, because of podcasts and YouTube and all that, how much more can be said about comedy, I'm seeing this a lot with Saturday Night Live's the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Where everything about that show is now being like dissected. Yeah. And it's like, what? There is an end point. There's a point of diminishing returns, right? So where is that in terms of this type of content? Because, and I think that does lend itself into like, well, the only thing left is to go to deeper things, which is what he's doing right now. So that's probably how I would want to start. Is just kind of talking about like, what more can you say about stand-up that hasn't already been said? And I'd be curious to get his response to that, because it could be infinite, right? It could be like, no, because it's such an individualized thing that it never ends. But I'd be curious to get his take on that. And then I would be kind of curious to go into like, for him, what led to this point where he's been willing to go more conservative? Has that? Sorry, I'm outside. Just to get outside for 1 second. So I apologize about the noise.
No. Honestly, I kind of hear the outside stuff, but it's not too bad.
Okay, good. This is actually great. This is really cool. I'd love to be able to do this. This is so nice to be able to like do content and get outside and move for just like a second.
Yeah.
I need to connect to my Wi-Fi for good quality. So I'm just like I'm just like turning around like I'm walking like 20 yard space in front of my place. But anyway, so like I want to know like what for him. What was kind of when the predominant culture in, for lack of a better term, Hollywood-esque careers is left-wing leaning, what has led to him being willing to go this other direction and be able to explore that? What has he found to be interesting? What's changed? What questions does he have that he feel like he now has answered? Or has answers for that maybe surprised him, or that he didn't expect to see, or that like he's, you know, I'd be curious to know for him like what's changed, what's been interesting, what's been satisfying, and what is still unsatisfying. Like what are the things in the depths of his heart? What are the questions that have now like basically like God, he reveals and he heals, right? So
Yeah.
And ultimately, like, if God is in reality, then when we're dwelling in reality, that means there are things that are revealed to us about ourselves. What's been revealed to him about like himself throughout that journey? I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, no, for
and
sure.
then I would just be curious to, this would probably be the third thing. And there are a lot of different 10-minute topics that you could basically do in here. I would be curious to also know, where does he think podcasting is going? Do we now have a firm understanding for what podcasts are?
Yeah.
Because if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have said podcasting is the new thing. It is here forever. It is now on par with television and radio.
Yeah.
And the internet, but like, let's just say YouTube as a medium, I would say it's a fully established medium. And now I still agree with that, but I think I think the bubble has burst a bit. It got really, really big during the pandemic, really big.
Yep.
That was probably like the bubble. Like that was the best time to get in. And then all of a sudden you started to see, for ads, people wanted to see, instead of 5,000 to 10,000, like we were able to do ads with between 5,000 to 10,000 downloads per episode for its lifetime, or within the first basically within the first 90 days. And then you started to see it jump to 15,000, and then 20,000, and then 20 to 25,000.
Wow.
And so to get the ads that we used to get for like your athletic, this stuff right around 2022, early probably first to second quarter of 2022 of the calendar year, you started to see, that was when ads from BetterHelp. BetterHelp still wanted to do ads with us, but I was getting increasingly uncomfortable with it based on some stuff that I had heard, and I was like, I don't know if we want to necessarily align ourselves completely with this, even though I'm not totally out on it. There are enough questions around now that I'm like a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But like the last Athletic Green ad we did was around 2020. A lot of your more bigger brands, that's when it stopped for us.
Yeah.
And we've been much smaller since then. We've had, we've done stuff with Exodus 90. We've done stuff with, obviously, with the current thing we're doing with Monk Manual. A lot of that is just relationship based. I'm very, very good friends with the head of Monk Manual. He is one of my just favorite individuals in the entire world, even though we're not in the same town anymore, which kills my heart. But but even like him and I have talked about, is there an advertising model that can be more, instead of downloads per se, it's more about audience alignment. So if you have an audience of 200 people for what you are doing, but you guys are all really aligned, that's pretty valuable, because you'd have a higher conversion rate, or you're getting increased brand awareness for this thing that you want people of this audience to know about. And we were talking about how basically you base that off of host interest. So if the host is interested in it, if the host finds it valuable to their life, odds are so will the audience, because the audience tends to align with personalities.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And I don't mean like, oh, this person's an engaging person. That is important. But from like, I identify with this person. The biggest benefit that people get, this is why I think podcasting is a really great medium, is it feels intimate. It feels like the way that you listen to it is through your headphones. It's all encompassing. It's a bit warm. It's actually, like, dare I say, a little bit intimate. So people feel like they know us and they want to actually have a relationship with us. And that's actually what most people want in our Patreon, is they want connection and time with us, which is like the one thing that like I wish we could give more of, but we can't. Right? It's just like, particularly when I was going through a lot of stuff, I didn't have the emotional bandwidth to do that. And I feel like podcasts are on a bit of a decline, only because there is a little bit of a, what can you say that hasn't already been said now? Every comedian has a podcast. Every athlete now has a podcast. And that's really cool if if it's honest. But if it's not, if there's not a lot of depth, people can kind of start to see through that. And so I think there's a bit of a coming back to earth for podcasts where they're not, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what's going on as a whole, but I have found that my interest in podcasts has actually waned a little bit. And so going back to your original question, I want to talk to Joe Rogan about what does that mean? Is that actually happening? Or is it just now it's gotten so niche that if you run out of your own personal niches, you take a break? And I'd just be curious to know too about his experience of podcasts. I have a couple on theories about podcasts that I'd be curious to get his take on. Do you care if I go with them for a bit? Because I think I'd love to talk about this.
No, keep going. Also, Hallelujah asks, what's Luke's advice for people who want to break into Catholic content production, more about speaking?
Sure. So if you want to be a Catholic speaker, I think there's a couple things. One is make sure you have your stuff together. That's just there's a when my marriage was imploding, I stopped completely speaking. I didn't think it was. I almost stopped the podcast. The only reason why I continued, to be honest, was because it gave me life.
Yeah.
I remember directly talking with Father Harrison from Clerically Speaking, being I don't know if I should keep doing this or not.
Yeah.
And he kind of walked me through well, is it doing this? I was yes. Is it helping your primary vocation as at that point in time, dad? I was absolutely. And I'm giving life? And I said yes. And he's yeah, then you should definitely keep doing it. So there's kind of that. And really, I think it's one of those weird things where I think you can break into it if you want to do it. There is a bit of you need to promote yourself, but also it needs to kind of just happen. Yeah. So if the doors aren't opening, I really would be careful trying to pursue it, because it just can quickly lead to vainglory.
Yeah.
And I think the majority of every Catholic speaker that I have ever met has been a person of integrity and has been really cool and has been very, they're very authentic. Father Mike Schmidt, he is
amazing.
Just one of the most authentic people I've ever met. I've had, in the grand scheme of things, very limited interactions with him, but they've all been extremely pleasant. Same thing, I'll take a better example would be someone like a Matt Fradd or a Katie McGrady, people that I would say are actual friends of mine.
Yeah.
That are just wonderful people who I just really love. And they're exactly what you think they would be.
Yeah.
So the majority of them, let me put it this way. I haven't encountered anyone that I would say is inauthentic. I've encountered personalities I don't really care for, but they've all been very authentic to who they are. So, and I definitely believe that God can work through brokenness. I mean, look at Catching Foxes. It's a clear example of that. But I would say, I guess the biggest thing that I would say is, to me, it's one of those things where the doors, for me, there was a period of time where I was okay, should I go down this road? The doors started to open. And I remember talking with my friend Sarah Rogers about this. And I was I don't think I'm really good at this.
Which, by the way, when is she coming back? When is she coming back on? I loved you guys' podcast with her. I know. It was so cool to hear. Just, I think it was the young adult stuff, and honestly, that's a whole nother thing. It would be another time, because honestly, just kind of segue from this just for a second is
sure.
It's being where I'm at in Houston, it's the young adult scene is just it's there, but then sometimes it's just I don't know, I just feel that the young adult scenes have nowhere to go sometimes, and it's kind of frustrating that there isn't there's not any emphasis on it, and I didn't get why too, because it's like, you know, most of us have 8 to 5 jobs, and then afterwards, you know, having to, you know, go out and do stuff is kind of hard and time consuming. But you know, I've back when my mid 20s, you know, I was talking to a lot of the young adult men, and it's just like they always felt like, man, like I feel like I have nowhere to go, and more often enough, it's like they end up going to like not to knock, you know, the Protestant communities and stuff, but like they found more life at the Protestant churches because there was way more young adult activities to do and just get-togethers and all this stuff. And I'm just like, why is it that we're just, and honestly, and like I can think of some of these men who's just kind of like, you know what, why am I sticking in the faith when you know like I don't see any other men doing it, and they kind of just like they walk away, which is like, it's kind of sad to see, but just because they didn't have the community. And I really don't understand why we struggle. And that's another thing too, is like why I kind of like, I mean, I know real life community is better than online community. I'm not trying to knock it or anything, but like obviously we need the in-person community. But like, you know, for what I see on YouTube, I mean, there's a niche everywhere for all communities, but I feel like for like there's different Catholic communities online, some great, some not so great. But you know, a place to where, you know, especially when you're isolated. I don't, especially if you're like in the Midwest. I have no idea. I mean, even though there's some cities that have like a great, like in Minnesota, and like in Minneapolis, great. I heard great things about the Catholic young adult community, but like, you know, just like I feel like there's more secular voices being promoted in YouTube for obvious reasons, but like no real big. I mean, obviously you have your Matt Brads, you have your Bart Mike Schmitz, but like, you know, I feel like we just have like Catholics haven't like really like used the potential for YouTube as much as it could be used for. But back to my point of like, you know, there's just like, you know, even now, like in my just being in my 30s, it's like, you know, trying to find Catholic community is just so hard, because it's either like, I mean, soon to be married, which is great to find other Catholic couples, but then, you know, I still see men my age who are like, they're just lonely, you know, and they desire community, and I try to invite them out to like, you know, the church events or Catholic events or for young adult meetups, but like, you know, there's just nothing for these like late 20, early 30-year-olds, and I'm just like, and this is like, I feel like where we lose a lot of the Catholics in this generation, and it really sucks. And I mean, and it's like, I don't know what's to be done, because I know it's a very demanding job. It's like, do you like hey church, here's some money, please make a program for it, and already it's become like, oh, let me put it on my shoulders, and then I'll create it, and then hopefully, because what I see a lot is like someone starts it, and then they're like, hey guys, I have a family now, peace out, and then it's taken, the torch is passed on to someone else, but then they're not good at handling that position, and then the torch keeps getting passed, and then it eventually fizzles out type of situation. Sorry, I went on a long tangent there.
No. That's really good stuff. I have. That's very good. You brought up some good points and some really good questions, particularly surrounding the community and like, how do you actually make that happen? So before I go into that, I'm back at the game. So if you want to pick like a tiny game, I'll just trust you to just like
minigame bay. Let's
whatever,
go.
And I'll just go along with you. So okay, so what you need, there's a few things here. You need basically for that community, you need a little bit of structure, because I based the young adult office around Acts 2, either 24 or 42, I forget which one, or 212, I don't really remember, but like shared prayer, shared learning, shared fellowship, shared mission. You need 3 of those 4 things or so to really get that going, or all 4.
Yeah.
If it's kind of like a store, a a three-legged stool absolutely works. I stole this right off of Jim Beckman. So this is like totally a Jim Beckman thing. For people who don't know, Jim Beckman was someone who was a big youth minister and in the 90s and in the 2000s. He was like a youth minister who mentored to a lot of people my age and a little bit younger, or perhaps a little bit older. Just one of the best in the country. He was the youth minister at the parish that had predominantly all their students were at Columbine High School when the shooting happened back in '99.
Oh wow!
So he has been through. Yeah, Jim has been through a tremendous amount. And so he understands how all that. Well, he just. I remember him telling the story about how he will never forget that day because he was making copies or something for this one thing. He obviously gets pulled out to go to the school while that all is happening, and then he make a snowball, throw a snowball. Okay. He then came back at the end of the day, just saw his copier, his stuff was still there, and just kind of being like, wow, what a snapshot in time. Like, it was all fine, and then it wasn't, And so basically, so anyways, you need structure, right? So you have to have something to help you understand. Make is B, throw is A. Okay, so you need a thing to kind of help you see, all right, I think I'm ready to play.
All right, just press start.
Okay, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Nah, that's okay.
So basically, you need some structure around those things, right? That shared prayer, shared learning, shared fellowship, and shared mission. Ideally, I died.
Sorry.
Ideally, the parish provides that, right? But that. So I guess my point is, I think about what's realistic and what is sustainable for you, because for me, what I think really helped us down in Cincinnati was, one, we just had the people. I knew that Cincinnati was becoming a hotspot.
Yeah. So
there was kind of this element of stuff is happening here. That's cool. I'm just reading how this, whatever for you. Okay. So,
Do you get the game? You're basically, I let the AI do this stuff and let them battle it out, and then I jump in last minute to get the bomb on the other team.
Okay, I think that makes sense. Okay. So if you don't have the capability or the skill sets, and if you feel like people around you in your life don't have that, I think you can I think there is a good thing to say, hey, parish, we'll give you guys some money. How can we make this happen? But you really do just need someone who's going to give you that structure so those things can happen, and they need to happen on a consistent and repeated basis, because what's going to form a community for you all is going to be consistent interactions in a determined space, right? That's why college is easy to form community, because you're all doing the same thing in this confined space over and over and over again. So
yeah.
What can you do? What do you need? What does that look like? Is it a Bible study? For us, it was, I stole this directly from what was happening out in Denver. I started doing a monthly candlelight mass. We go to a bar. So here's a cool thing, brings everyone together in a part of town with a lot of young adults. I think I'm getting this. And how can you...
Oh, yikes. Okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah, how could this... and so I knew that over time, that was going to really... because they'd have a consistent interaction, they'd have the shared prayer, the mission was the salvation of our souls and of community, you know. So there's like that's going on. So there's definitely a bit of like
gosh darn it.
This is interesting. Like there's a little bit of you have to kind of like determine like what is the Lord calling us to, what do we need, and what can actually be done, and can we do this, or if we say we go to the parish or the diocese and say what can we do to make this happen, would that involve us, you know, putting in money, right? Can we help, like say, hey, well, you know, if we contribute a couple $100 to pay for all of the supplies, would that make it worth it? Do you need a lot more? Is it like per person? You know, if that's a little bit different, you obviously can't like pay for, maybe you don't have the money to pay for someone's salary, but like, what can you do?
Yeah.
And the more you have that stuff happening, the more you're going to have community, because you need that structure. You need that share, you know, for us, the shared mission was, I knew that we were the, faster. I'm just read how to do this.
So basically, you're trying to find the picture that's different from the rest and as fast as possible.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that makes sense. Like, I knew that I was treating the walking wounded, like the impact of the culture of death. It wasn't about the threat; it had already happened.
Yeah.
So I was more interested in, like, how do we? Oh, interesting. Okay, that was kind of tough. Like, if everyone's already hurt, what do we need to do? Like, what do people need? Well, people need community. That's why I was doing things like the candlelight on mass and on a regular basis, because it brought people together. They're experiencing the healing just by going to mass, by being with each other, by you got it.
That's just what's tricky.
I thought it made like the multiple
bananas, yeah.
Like, I would say just start to do it.
Yeah.
Just say, okay, we're gonna do this thing here. Keep it simple. What can we realistically do, and how do we make it sustainable? That's really what, like, I think that's where a lot of things get lost, is it's not sustainable, if I had to say, like, or it takes a lot of effort. So what can you actually do? Who do you have? And then is it easy to do over the long run? And what like we did was we had some Bible studies and stuff that helped, but the real thing was like the candlelight mass. It was easy for everyone to do, and then we would do a big event, say once every quarter or so. But we partnered with the seminary to do that.
Yeah,
so that made it, like, again, sustainable and realistic, and we were able to do it in a part of town that a lot of young people were. And it's just going to be different depending upon like where you are.
Yeah.
Push the opponent out of the way, move through the marble statue. Okay. So this seems fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bungee down. Like, what can you actually what can you do? And do you have the capacity? Like, and then how do you build the capacity to do it? Right?
Yeah.
That's really all that it takes. And they can be, at times it can be really easy. You know, like you don't have to do really too much. I think saying, hey, we're going to get, like, it doesn't have to be a candle lit mass. It can just be mass.
Yeah.
And all you need is a priest and a space. So, this is just like, this is like what Denver did. And Denver had no one in charge of it. It was just all volunteers.
Wow, that's incredible.
In Cincinnati, I thought, okay, in my role here, we're putting some weight behind this. can we?
3, 2.
My thought was, because of me being in this job, could that give a steroid? That could basically give a steroid shot to all of this.
Yeah.
So the ideal if this just happened on its own, but what if you just put some doctors and weight behind cultivating the volunteers and the relationships? You could basically create movement, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to create. Yes, I wanted to create movement.
Yeah.
And I thought that it could happen on its own, but what if I just started pushing things in this direction? Would that help?
Yeah.
But we also had I wanted to make on the Cincinnati hotspot for young people.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew that was happening within the city. But how could I do that? Like, what if we basically what if we on the road and harnessed that wave? That was what I was trying to do. Was I wanted Cincinnati to be the place where because I knew people just needed more friends.
Yeah.
And most people experience a lot if they're practicing the Catholic faith. They've either been isolated from their own friends at work or from their own family or some combination of all of those things.
Yeah.
And so I knew they needed just people in their lives, which is why I focus so much on the communities. Anyone that I talk to, when they want community, this is kind of what I say, just doing those things right there. That's what you need.
You win. Break A.
You need people you basically, what are some things you can do on a consistent basis that you can maintain?
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
So Haley was saying that I spoke about this the other day. I see a lot of content creators who go out alone and have themselves on an island on themselves, and it's dangerous, emotionally and mentally.
Very much so.
So I guess for people who are doing online space, how would you approach how to approach not being alone online? Because I feel like I see even with my coworkers, I just feel like even if they're not per se Catholic, but they're online a lot, chronically. How do you reach the healthy relationships online, in a sense, and then kind of bounce it off with real life and being online.
Start.
Are you talking about content creators or people who just are online a bunch?
Let's keep it simple. Content creators that are online and trying to find community, in a sense of people who want the same things.
So it can actually be pretty hard. Oh wow, that was terrible on my phone. That was terrible. I like.
I wasn't even paying attention, so I wasn't even trying. That's how good I am. I don't have to try. I'm just kidding.
No, can we do this one again?
Yeah. Let me see.
Perfect. So I have to make sure that I'm getting. So basically, how do content creators make sure that they're not on an island unto themselves? This is So two things. One, particularly if you are Catholic, but I actually think this is true for anyone that makes stuff. It needs to come from an overflow of love for this thing, and the Catholic world, it is Christ the Lord, right? So it needs to come from an overflow of your relationship with God. So going to mass, having a community, all that stuff, a prayer life that is realistic and sustainable. Doesn't and I think particularly within a lot of young adults, consistency is actually more important than quality.
Yeah.
So it's just showing up.
Yeah.
That's what really builds roots.
Start.
And trees on mountains die because of a lack of roots, not because of too much oxygen.
Yeah.
And so it's not the mountaintop experience that kills you, it's the lack of roots.
Yeah.
And with mountains, it's inherently hard to like build up roots. So you need to have that within your own life. And then I also think it is incredibly important to build relationships with other creators and have consistent contact with them. So one of the things that Gomer and I don't do as much as we should, but it tends to happen naturally, is like we'll just be like, one of us will be going through a hard time, particularly it's me because I need to talk things through.
Same one or a random one?
Let's do it one more time and then we can go to a different one.
Okay.
But we'll call the other person and we'll just talk about like life and what's going on. And we typically have a conversation that's very similar to the podcast.
Yeah.
Like very similar. And actually like surprisingly so. But it ends up being a little like the bulk of the conversations we have are very edifying for me. I was too far over. But they're no, go.
Ding!
Wow.
Close, dude. It was close.
What I kind of thought would happen worked.
Also, continue talking. I need to take a quick bathroom break. I'm really sorry. So just entertain the audience for like a minute. I just need to go to the bathroom really quickly. I'm really sorry.
No, I podcast, so I'm very used to this. So I'll tell a story. Like basically, I remember I was talking with Matt Fradd on the phone. I don't remember what it was about. I feel like or what prompted the call, but I feel like it was something regarding, there was tension online about like maybe Pope Francis or other people, or like I don't remember exactly what it was that prompted the call, but like we were talking and I remember Matt telling me like, you know, if you're going through anything, I want you to tell me so I can like, you know, either call you out and encourage you or just like or hear you out. And I remember just being really grateful for that. And that wasn't why we talked. But he brought that up, and I don't remember why. I think we may have been talking about this very issue. Maybe that was it. But I've always just felt like Matt's a person that if I had an existential crisis or a really just kind of deep spiritual question, that I could just call him and talk to him about it, and vice versa. And the last time we did it was maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I don't remember what it was about, but it was he gave some talk in Australia that I saw a YouTube clip of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is really fascinating. Like, I think it was something about like this wicked generation. Like, are we living within a wicked generation according to this like scripture verse? And I had some thoughts, and he kind of like changed my mind on a few things. So I just like sent him a text saying, hey, I have some really interesting thoughts on this. Like, why don't you come on the show? We can talk about this, or we can just talk about it like normal people. And he just called me like right then and there, and we just talked about it as normal people. And that was really, really helpful for me. And I think there is the content that you make is going to inherently like help you. That's one of the joys of it. One of the cool things. You could definitely hear the bathroom. That was awesome.
You heard the bathroom?
Flush, yeah. It's so funny. Nope, you're fine. It was one of those things where, but like, if you get to a point when it's like all you have, that's where it starts to drain you, and that's where it is dangerous. So I think it's really helpful to have your own community of people.
Yeah.
And okay, here we go.
You got this, dude. You got this.
Let me make sure. Okay, so it's A. It's not so much the. What am I trying to say? It's not so much the people. Like, you need people in your life. Like, that's for sure. You for sure need your own tribe, your own group that has nothing to do with the podcast. or sorry, or with whatever you are making. But then you need to be able to be in relationship with other creators.
Yeah.
That has been like, I cannot tell you how much of a blessing it has been to have Katie, to have Mrs. Ruby in my life.
She's awesome.
Like her family, is just like incredible people.
Yeah.
And that, I want to try this one again.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that has been but I've experienced that with like Pat and Ethan from The Crunch.
Yeah.
Ethan was actually one of the first people I told about, like when my marriage was imploding.
Yeah.
I was like walking back to my place. I had just gotten the apartment. It was really, really hard. And I remember on the phone with like Ethan, and he asked if he could pray for me. I was like, I'm gonna tell you, man, right now things are really bad. And that was just like really nice to have a person who just like, no judgment, could just like hear me out. And I'm like, I'm 15 years older than this guy.
Yeah.
And like, I may not be that much older than him, but like, no, because I met them between 15 and 10 years older than him. Like, there we go.
Oh my!
Look at that.
Dude. Way to go.
Way to go.
We're doing this again.
Yeah.
Screw you.
It was definitely like that was really cool. And Arlene Spenceley and Katie, like honestly, a lot of the people I told first about my divorce were content creators.
Yeah.
Because I was scared. I was scared to tell, and I needed them to know, and I wanted to know, like, what do I do? And it was, I know that, like, Haley Stewart has just announced that she went through that.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
I need to reach out to her because I know how that's just awful. It's awful.
Oh yeah, it's just hard. And then also too, it's just like when like having to tell people that, it just like it's for me. I was like, coming from net. Oh gosh, darn it, too soon. And just being like, just being so, just in the, how it's just in the Catholic culture is like, yeah, way to go, dude. It's just like divorce is like a no-go thing, and it's for obvious reasons. And just like, man, like how do you explain this to people, especially if they don't know your situation, type of thing. And it was one more time. That was
dude, yeah. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
I hope that answers her question about how to like not be on an island.
Yeah.
And,
no,
like,
I think you covered it pretty.
Okay.
Pretty well.
I will say this. I think this is actually like really important. There is a point where if you do it too soon, it's weird for other people, and that happened as soon as we started our podcast. There was this other podcast that started called My Friend the Elephant, or My Friend, I don't remember what, and they wanted to get. There's actually groups for this in the secular world. I forget what they're called. It's basically like a like-minded group where you get people together to talk about what you are doing.
Yeah.
And I felt like we were all on that one. Let's do it one more time.
Yeah.
Let's do best out of 5.
Best out of 5. This is great content right here. Just keep playing the same game over again until we one up each other.
This is college right here. This is absolutely college. You just find that thing and you're just kind of in the zone. Like, all right, best out of 5. So this is the 4th one, right?
I think so.
Okay. So and this is nothing against the guys that wanted to do this. They wanted to bring like a like-minded group together, people who are creating stuff to like talk about like what are you doing, how to like help each other and all this stuff. And I believe they started right around the same time as us.
Yeah.
And it was us, them. What is her name? What is her name? I can see her face. She had a podcast with Tommy Ty and then Father, what's his name? Okay, we're tied 2-2, I think, right?
All right, I think so.
So this is it.
This is it, dude. This is it.
So Tommy Ty, her, and Father Kyle, I think he's my friend. And then I want to say 1 or 2 other people. and we would do these Google chats, and it was fine, but it was too soon.
Yeah.
So like we really weren't doing anything. We were like creating stuff. We were just trying to like, and I felt like it would have been much cooler to do it a year into that.
Yeah.
Because then we would have had some of the experience. Like you kind of it just felt like we were being really presumptuous by saying we're all content creators.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, we are, but like I don't know. To me, I don't know. I don't think I'm comfortable saying this other guy won that one.
Oh
so
yeah, jeez.
I'd say I'm gonna go. Even though I would okay, you're in last place.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. That doesn't count.
Doesn't it? Screw this guy.
Yeah, seriously. Screw you, cute little thing. It just it wasn't like I don't know. If it's like a hobby, most hobbies don't drain you. They give you life.
Yeah.
Right? And the island will drain you.
Yeah.
So hobbies can create an island and they can drain you. Okay, I want to be clear about that. But like it's more about like when it's going well and that's draining you and it's pulling, all that kind of stuff. So like you can kind of so I would say like reach out to other people when you actually have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Like because we all like really weren't in a relationship with each other. So it was kind of like Gomer and I, you won, man.
Dang, here we go, baby. Here we go.
Way too soon. Gomer and I were just starting. It just, I don't know. It wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like.
I mean, old Country Foxes, man, that was like Unhinged. You guys, that was phenomenal. Best content right there.
The old stuff.
The old stuff.
I know.
So good.
So it was. I want to like. Here's the thing. I don't know if that can. Okay, let me ask you this. I'm more just curious from like a. I know this is gonna sound weird, but like. So what are we trying to do here?
You're trying to avoid the light things and then jump and then ground pound to knock other people out.
Okay. So. Okay, that makes sense. What do you think was so special about that old Catching Fox stuff? Which I know is very like self-serving. And I don't mean for it to be so.
So honestly, it felt like listening to you go. Oh gosh darn it. It felt like honestly, like you guys were saying a lot of things that a lot of Catholics were thinking, but no one was saying. And you guys voiced a lot of frustrations that were going on in the church and just in Catholic culture in general. That really, I mean, that's what really resonated with me back in the day. We're doing that again.
Let's do this again. Yeah, this one's fun.
And and for me, it was like I can tell you guys were just being yourselves and talking about things that I really enjoyed like listening about, whether it was like music, movies, and like basically pretty much the same interest of as you guys. So it was really cool to hear about that and just like hear my like your own personal struggles that were just kind of going on with your y'all's faith, and then just like just you guys drinking while podcasting and just making it more silly and ridiculous, which I know that's me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like that's what happens when you're drinking with your buddies. You're definitely going to be a little bit more loose with what you're saying, which I think it was funny. But obviously, you can't be doing that anymore because that's alcohol is definitely can get hard on your body. Yeah, exactly.
This is a battle of wills right now.
I know.
Yeah, no, and I would like to try to get back to some of that earlier stuff. I think there's a couple things that need to happen for us to do that. This is why I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah. You get redemption.
One of the things that frustrates me is it takes me about 20 minutes to get ready to go.
Yeah.
and I'm just starting to see that, and I don't know if I need to just get better or if I need to put myself in a better headspace, but I'm someone who needs to talk things out, which is why I think I'm a decent I think Gomer's a better podcaster than I am. I think I'm a decent podcaster.
No, so what I like, what I love about you both, and like that's why I like love your guys' duo, is like the thing is I love Gomer, but he gets too intellectual way too fast, and it just like, all right, it's just like I feel like sometimes like he just goes on a rant, which is great, it's wonderful, but then like you bring it home and bring it to where like, kind of grounded in reality, and that's why y'all's duo is so good, because Gomer can just keep talking for, you know, which is great. I think that's why I think he does the every knee shall bow, because he gets that outlet for that. But the both you guys being able to, like, you know, kind of the theology side, but then like reality side, where you come in and that both just matches up so well, and I think that's why your duo is so good for one another. And then like it just also too, it's just like, you know, the thread, seeing you connect the threads with these ideas and actually bring it all home together is also what is amazing to see from you guys too. It's like you I'm trying to think of, I mean, I've listened to most of all your episodes except for the one you just released, but like I can't really think of a specific example, because it's been, you know, how many episodes now you guys done?
Like 400.
Yeah, 400 episodes. Like, yeah, it's
440.
all,
yeah.
It's definitely all kind of blurs together, but like it's you definitely bring a lot of things home that like really resonate with me, and that's another reason why like I'm so drawn to your guys' podcast. Because like honestly, I honestly the thoughts you guys have, I think about too. I'm just like yeah, like what, I guess like you think about like what's going on with AI right now, and like, you know, it's just like kind of terrifying to see how we're just running toward AI right now. Like all these big companies, Amazon, X, ChatGPT. I'm just like, why are we running to this, guys? Like, there's no and just like, you know, when Barbie Heimer came out, just seeing how you guys connected all that together was just awesome. But yeah, that's
well.
I think that's your guys' strength. Yeah, I think that's what like your guys' strength is. And that's why I think you guys are really good podcasters.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I really do. Yeah, I think a buddy of mine, when I was working at the podcast network for a bit before we had to dismantle it, which killed me. Our director of creative or of content, Kyle Hyman, is now with Max Studios, and we sold Spoke Street to. Well, it's not sold, we gave. We were going through like one of his pilot things for catching foxes, and I was like, what can, and it was like, cause I wanted to walk through like, okay, like how do you develop content? And he was, and we were talking about, is this right? Yeah.
No, it's not right. Move that picture to your hand to the very end and move it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I see what you're saying. It's not of the, yeah.
Yeah, not that guy. Get rid of that guy.
Oh man, you're gonna win. So basically, I'm trying to see. Okay.
Yeah, move it all to the right.
All to the right, yeah. And then the hand goes at the end. Okay, so then does the head go out there, or is it the arm?
The arm.
Okay. So Kyle said, like, he brought up this great point, how like we're the intersection of the intellectual and the vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, like that's exactly it. And that's really what I wanted. So I remember thinking about what Catching Foxes, what I wanted it to be like in the very beginning. once we were already talking about, we were developing ideas. I remember walking around and I started to listen to different podcasts. That was the first time I had listened to Catholic stuff because this is what I'm the most confused about. Like, I don't really get bored.
Yeah. Oh, this one. Okay. So. Oh yeah.
Okay,
There you go.
I think
I thought you meant kind of stuff you should know. I was like, I'm really confused what this is about. I was like, oh, I thought you knew what they were talking.
No.
The game.
No, just because like I was friends with those guys out in Denver.
Yeah.
And I went to one of their live shows for just like a hangout. It was the Theology on Tap. That was one of their live shows, and I was like really upset because actually, oddly enough, Aaron and I we were dating and we had broken up.
Oh no!
Like, man, this is like, and I was like, just kind of bummed. I was like, I'm not going to be for any of this, and I this is interesting. So I wasn't really paying attention. Like, I really loved podcasts. And to me, I was like another podcaster or another Catholic, like more Catholic. I really like those guys. So let me be very clear. Like, I love particularly I knew Father John and Father Michael. I didn't know Father Nathan. This is the first time that I met him. We were all outside having a cigarette, and that's when I met him. Nice guy. Really nice guy. I was like, it's just catechetics, or it's just catechetical. I'm like, I don't want to hear people explain. I'm like, it's like this is all it ever is. And I remember just kind of being like, I'm so tired of this. And then I have to go to a coin, I guess. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, this. Nope. This is really interesting. Oh, okay. I'm actually really enjoying this.
Go to the star. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, yeah. Are you already done?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So
no. That's no. That's what happens. That's what's nice when you don't have to talk. You just play the game and just listen.
Yeah.
And I guess this does not help your ADHD at all.
No, but like if the game is like, if I get it in a groove, it actually does.
Okay, gotcha.
Point if I get the groove.
Yeah, move that one to your left.
There we go. Okay. So, anyways, I was very nervous. I'm like those guys, and I remember having thought of like, good for them for doing a thing. This is not like. I'm so confused.
Okay, so basically, go to the console onto the top left. All right. So you need. I think it's the U first.
Finish.
Oh well.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's not gonna kill me. I think I get it. I mean, now it doesn't matter. But Father, like. So okay, so I had gone to their live shows, and I remember thinking like, good for them for doing this. This really isn't my thing. I like these types of podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm sure all Catholic podcasts are just this. And the last thing I want is just, I'm tired of the talks. I'm tired of all the stuff. Like, I have no interest in it.
Yeah.
So, flash forward to, that was probably a year before we got the idea, right around 1 year before the idea for catching foxes. So flash forward to, what does it actually mean?
So basically, there's some things you need to move stuff in. So I'll let you know when that happens. But right now, you just need to avoid things.
Okay. Perfect. And I can punch people, right? Woo! Yeah. So anyways, whoa!
Yeah, no, this game is ridiculous.
So when we had the idea for it, I remember I wanted to listen to see what other people were doing. So that was the first time that I listened to Catholic stuff.
Yeah.
And I was kind of mad at myself. And I was like, oh, this is great.
So you can use the action now. To catch the kitchen.
Okay.
Chicken.
I was like, This is really, really good. They're really good at this. And they're like, the way they're approaching these deeply intellectual ideas, and they're kind of talking about like, this is what this could look like within reality.
Yeah.
And I remember like, oh, this is extremely my jam, because I was just so tired of the ideas. And I remember hearing and going, okay, how can Catching Flashes be different? And at that time, I don't think we even had a name for it yet. We were probably going to call it the Luke and Gomer Power Up, and that was really close to being the actual name. And I remember listening to Catholic stuff. This was really, really helpful. I thought, I want our show to be the step beyond that.
Yeah.
So I want it to be about like processing my experience of these things and how do I move. If I've already experienced this, or if I am experiencing this, or if I do believe this, and I'm trying to do this, if Catholic stuff is introducing the idea and what that could look like, could our show be about the experience of that? The like steps, if that's step like 1 and 2, here's this being revealed to you, this kind of deep truth about God and life. Here's what that looks like within your real life. And we talk about what that is like after the fact, after I've experienced that, after I have tried. And that could be what has gone well. That could be what is not going well. That's what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Because I felt there was nothing like that. And I particularly wanted, if you can tell, I mean, all of us are aware there are a few things I love to talk about way more than just the podcast itself.
Yeah.
But like, one of the reasons why though is I'm a really big believer in like content creators. To make sure you're not on that island too, is like be doing something very original. Because if you are, people will seek you out.
Yeah.
You know, people will seek you out. So I, like, what makes you really different? And I think, do you care if I take a quick break? I just need to like walk around again. But I'm good to like keep on from talking and stuff. So people even like paying attention by this point in time, or is this just us?
No, there's actually 4 viewers right now.
Sweet, great. Hi everyone. Feel free to ask if you want me to talk about anything other than this. I will.
Yeah, if anyone's still in the chat, still hanging out with us, please ask your questions. I'm sorry we have not been really engaging with the chat. Whoops. That's the one thing I'm really bad at. I'm like, I mean, it's been quiet. It's been quiet, so it's not. I don't feel as bad, but it's just like I'm just like, oh, I should probably definitely be more asking more. That's the thing about streaming is like you have to be engaged with the audience, and it's kind of hard to do that when you have a guest on. It's like, I mean, thank God people know who you are, so I think this is a little bit easier. So, but I definitely when you're streaming, interviewing people, it's definitely a lot harder to engage with both the person you're interviewing and also the chat at the same time. It's definitely a trickier situation. Obviously, I'm not perfect at it yet. I'm still working on that thing. But it's definitely, I'm learning a lot doing this. So I, once again, appreciate just you coming on and just talking. This has been awesome. Yeah. But continue.
Well, that's actually, okay. I have so many thoughts. But I think like, let's talk about what made us different. Yeah, that. And for me, it was really important that I wanted to do something, whenever people want to create content and they ask me about like, what should I do? One of the things I try to say is like, okay, treat it like you're starting a band. Who are the people that like you like? Who do you, and like see what you can like mash together and just start to like, you don't have to necessarily copy, but like how can you to a certain extent stand on their shoulders? And so what I did was, I wanted to do something like the Nerdist podcast and WTF with Mark Maron.
Yeah.
And I knew Gomer was going to want to do something along the lines of Back to Work, Incomparable, Twitch, which was This Week in Tech, which are all things that like I liked as well. And Gomer was not as into WTF or the Nerdist podcast, but I was like, but I like the more the emotional vulnerability of WTF and the storytelling that was kind of done through their conversations to get at like what are the deeper truths of what's actually going on here, which I think the host of that is a comedian named Mark Maron. He excels at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've only listened a couple episodes to the Nerdist podcast back when it was in its heyday, and the WTF podcast. I think I never listened to that. I remember you guys talking about it a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
No, just like no, but no. I think you guys. I think you guys like came in the right time, got the right audience, and hit a vein that like no one was, or I guess you hit a scratch that no one was itching, and I think that's what really early catching foxes did really good at, and what I'm seeing now, I just no offense to you and Gomer, I just feel like you guys just got super busy with life, in the later stuff, and just with your careers, and which is and honestly, it's like I get it, just like Gomer's doing his full-time thing with That Man Is You thing, and then you were in grad school, and I think that as an audience member who's been listening to you guys but listening to you guys for like 10 years, it's like, yeah, like this is life, how else do you, it's like catching foxes isn't going to be always this, was never going to be the same as it was when you guys started. It's going to grow and develop, and which I think you guys like handle with grace, especially and like the 2020 years, was because a lot of stuff was going on for everyone during that time, and so and I think as your audience, just seeing you guys just kind of be real with us, and I think that's what's kept people still coming back listening, because it's like, yeah, I guess what, like, life happens, and you once you're able to share everything what was going on, it's like, yeah, of course we love and want to keep supporting you guys, and too, it's like the fact that like your guys' careers are going kind of in a different direction, which is great because you guys are growing, and I think that's what I think it's like what you guys kind of need, just to also just like get more like experience in your guys' field, to because I think like once like like once you guys can like bring it back home of like not being so busy outside of catching foxes, I think bringing all that experience and like all the stuff you guys been going through, bring it back into the podcast when that time is right. I think that's when catching foxes can be where it's at, or just be where it's at, but just a little bit different, if you don't mind me saying. I don't mean to
no
to critique. I don't mean to come off of being rude or anything, but just that just kind of just seeing my thoughts of like about you guys over the years.
Yeah, no, those are some really good insights, because it's one of the hard things in creating stuff is like, particularly like, it's important to never underestimate the medium and how you choose to go about engaging with that and the impact that has. And so what I mean by that is, we chose to do a podcast that came out once per week.
Yeah.
Because that's what
that's a lot. I honestly, look at how you guys did that. Like, I was streaming on Twitch back in 2020, and it was twice a week. And I was like, seeing how you guys did once a week, I was like, I don't know how you guys did it, because it was so hard for me to stream on Twitch twice a week. Like, that was just so emotionally a lot. And I was like, man, and then once I started doing it, I was like, wow, like Gomer and Luke just like way to freaking go on like committing to that once a week type of thing, because like that's a lot of work, and on top of like your families, your work, like when during that time, I was just like, I was work, it was friends, it was family, and I was like, and then like there'd be like a little time for my Twitch channel, but I was just like, yeah, this is like a second job, and like you still need a break from everything, and I don't think people realize that. Like, you definitely like, it's like to prepare for this for your podcast, it's like you kind of sometimes need to do research, and sometimes need to like see if like, I don't know, just like what topic you want to talk about. And like that's like extra work that you don't know that goes into the podcast that you don't see behind the scenes. So I honestly applaud you guys for doing that for so long as you guys did. Sorry, continue. Sorry, to continue off.
No, I think that because that is, well, you have to like, we made it. We're like, okay, we're going, and we have to set a time. Like for us in the beginning, it was Wednesdays. We recorded every Wednesday night, and Gomer would typically do a quick turnaround to release on Thursday or on Friday mornings.
Yeah.
And actually, the doing it for us was he started to get them out Thursdays at 6 a.m. for our buddy John, who had a commute in the morning. So it was like, we're getting this out there for John, but it was, and that helped set like a we had a cadence, like how we wanted to go about doing that. But then the problem is like, you were then stuck to that. And that's what I mean by the medium, like be careful what you choose, because it's like, you're then stuck with it. And there are pros and cons to all of this, right? So we were not a show. To me, our show is like jazz. There is a structure. You have to be good at having thoughts, carrying like, jazz is very free flowing, but there is a structure. You have to like master the structure and then be able to play with it. That's what jazz is. And so for us, I compare it to jazz because it's very much on the spot. It's not, you don't have you're not a sheet, but do have scales, and you are playing with those scales.
Yeah.
And you're doing it impromptu, and that's what we were doing. We had a certain structure that we knew already how to converse and how to explore topics because of just Gomer as a speaker. I think me as a teacher, that was really helpful.
Yeah.
Just learning how to carry a conversation and a flow of thought to get to a certain point or to unpack a certain idea. That was incredibly valuable, having years and years of experience doing that. And that's what I mean by, for us, I think speaking, my teaching, those were the kind of our, if you will, scales, to use music analogy. Yeah. Those were the scales that like we knew, and then when we made podcasts, we could then play around that or within that. So there was a lot of there was a lot of outside work in terms of like, I'm listening to certain ideas, trying to think of like, what do I want to talk about? Yeah. But then what we were able to do was, because our show isn't mapped out, we just go, we would come into it, and then we had these skills we could then basically dance around, and we knew how to play with that. And Gomer was a master at then being able to edit that into something coherent. Gomer was fantastic at that. You cannot underestimate the importance of that piece. His ability to edit. Actually, like, as much as I love Joe and I want Joe to keep doing that, that was a big risk, and I think a thing that was lost when we moved to Joe, and again, this is nothing against Joe at all, was just, it didn't have Gomer's editing, it was another person now. And so that changed it a bit. And that's actually, I will say, if I had to pick, I would pick Gomer only because it's our voice. Yeah. But I don't know if I would anymore. I think, I don't know, that's really harsh on Joe. I don't mean to be at all. Again, Joe's not a phenomenon. Without Joe, it's done. I mean, it was not sustainable at the pace we were going. So Joe kept it going. Like, Joe is the reason why it exists. Joe probably makes more money off of it than either of us do on a consistent basis, because like, we need to, like, he's the reason why it happens now. Yeah. There's no other, that's why it's still around. That's why you have to be careful. Yeah, no, honestly. And like, so I think we were willing to trade a bit more of control, a bit more of our voice, if you will, from an editing standpoint, for that long. So we always making trade-offs, and you just need to be conscientious about that. So for us, because we started wanting to actually do a lot of prep, that was actually one of the things we wanted to do, was like, let's take these big ideas, do a bit of a research, and come together and we will talk about it. But we actually didn't have the capabilities to do that. Really, just because like ADHD, which is not, unless it was our job and we said we have an hour here, let's take some time and then we'll come and do it. Which I kind of think could be the future of our shows, a bit more structure ahead of time.
Yeah.
But we have to make sure that we're actually able to do that. And so, I think, what is my point here? That because I would love to get back to that like earlier kind of a bit more, that like earlier tone of like, we're going to explore what everyone has been feeling, what everyone's been thinking.
Yeah.
And because it's such an intimate medium, that we can provide that intimacy, but it's hard. I think one of the challenges for us right now, at least for me, is the things that I'm going through are not specific to our audience anymore. Specific, so like there's a bit of that too. So it's all just like, it's not necessarily like it is luck and then it isn't. It's like it's luck in the terms of like there's always going to be outside forces that will determine how successful you are. It's more of a question of, can you harness and ride that and put yourself in a position where you're able to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
We did that without necessarily understanding that we were doing. But we knew that by making distinct choices, we were putting ourselves in a position to have it be as good as it could.
Yeah.
And this is the only pushback I give to people who are like just start making stuff. I think that is 100% true. But the only caveat I would add is like, make sure that while you are making stuff, you're making distinct choices, because then you're going to be in a much better position to let outside forces impact you. So going back to when I spoke about when people started to see more downloads, what that impacted us was we were not doing any marketing, so
yeah.
when
which is
we
amazing.
needed to increase an audience, we didn't really build out any sort of core capabilities or core capacities to build an audience. It was pure word of mouth for the most part.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's incredible where you guys, like, you started from and then, like, where you guys got to just by word of mouth alone. And then, like, that in itself is just, kind of unheard of nowadays. And, like, what I see now podcasts doing, you have to, like, make shorts about your content, post it on TikTok, post it on
Exactly.
YouTube Shorts, all this stuff, just to get your name out there. And I mean, I think you guys came in the right time, in the right place.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Well, yeah, and like we were the last kind of, one of the last. This is going to sound weird and egotistical, it's a weird thing, but like our show is in the top 0.05% of podcasts ever, which is crazy. That's crazy. I still can't really fathom how big we actually are / were. Like it doesn't compute that like we've had, almost 9.5 million downloads.
Incredible.
I don't get that. That's insane. That is insane. At one point in time, we were bringing in $70,000 a year in income from it.
Wow.
70,000. That's
insane.
Now, that's if you add in all of our live shows, we got paid to do that, all the ads, and then our Patreon. Isn't that crazy?
No, that's like someone's like yearly like paycheck. Yeah. That's like their income. Like that's insane.
At the height of the podcast, when we were making the most money, I was making almost $35,000 to $40,000 per year, which is more than like what I made when I started to teach.
Wow. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, so, like that's why I've always said that like if we had started the podcast when I was single, we probably would have been much bigger. Well, I should say probably. I don't know. This is presuming we would have done the work. So keep that in mind. But like, so that's always a big caveat with us. So, but like,
best intentions.
I could have taught and done the show, and we probably would have gotten bigger because I would have been able to put in the time to be able to do, like, particularly for us, it was just all of the marketing. Like, we really weren't, we had Twitter and we had a Facebook group, but we weren't like I was just posting whatever I wasn't really like, I wasn't paying for ads on Facebook, which we definitely should have done. I wasn't trying to boost anything. Which I definitely wish we had done. I was just like, if I would tweet from the Catching on Fox's account, it was just me being like, hey, here's my thoughts on all this stuff. And I think if I had more time, I could have been more strategic about it and grown our audience, which is what like Matt Fradd was. That's what he was able.
Yeah, no, like to see what he did.
Totally.
It's just amazing. Like he took the plunge. I'm like, and that's a real, like, I'm trusting my faith in God to do this, and like nowhere am I near that type of point. But like, I'm just even considering that, just be like, all right, this is what I'm doing full time, and I'm just gonna see where. And then it's like that type of fear, like that keeps me up at night, just to thinking, especially with video video editing is always gonna be there, but like to a point of like, where is this all going? It's like I'm just like, YouTube is in a weird space right now. Podcasts in a weird space right now. Even like streaming, like like all the streaming wars, like everything is such a weird place. And just like looking at the industry, looking at how like movies aren't being made, or if they are being made, they're like really bad movies, or just really shitty movies essentially. And there's no creativity, there's no original ideas, and it just soon just God willing, start a family in the next couple years. It's like how as a video editor, like where's a place to go? Because it's like, well, if I go to like do like big Hollywood film stuff, it's like, that's a good place to go, because it's like there's people always need to be making movies. But then again, it's like, it's kind of like who type of situation, and you need to be like top of your game video editor. But then there's the YouTube space where there's all these channels, but as an editor, you often get screwed over being what you get paid, because it's like, well, we can't pay you full time, we'll pay you part time, but we're gonna pay you below what you're worth. And it's kind of like, but I need to make a living, and it's just like, it's insane. Like some of the numbers that like YouTubers pull in, like back in 2018, like if you, let's say you made 1 million view on a video, you're looking at 100K from that 1 million video.
Wow.
Which I was like, from one, and I understand, and then I see why people go to YouTube, because I'm just like, if I pulled in 100K from one video and did 12 of those videos, like you're set, like you're set for the whole year. It's like, all right, I'm done, I'm going on vacation now, type of thing. But now with YouTube, it's like how it's just so, I know it's saturated, but there's channels that rise and fall all the time, just kind of the nature of the beast. But like now, if you hit 1 million, you're probably looking at 30K, which is still great money from one video. But it's kind of like where for me, it's like, okay, I want to make good entertaining content, but also you have to keep up with the trends to make it a little bit. And back to like my point of like just being an editor, it's like, well, where am I gonna go if I keep jumping from YouTube channel to YouTube channel to YouTube channel, because it's just the rise and fall of YouTube. It's just kind of natural flow of things, and trying to navigate that type of space, because I think streaming and YouTube is here to stay. It's just putting myself in the right position to make myself be like, I'm a valuable asset to your company. This is why you need me for your company, because X, Y, and Z type of situation. And that's where I'm kind of at currently with my career. I was like, okay, I've done this for 10 years now. This is what I've learned. How can I make it to where people are knocking at my door and want me to work on their stuff, to build up their their YouTube stuff, which everyone subscribe to Catching Foxes podcast at YouTube so they can start pulling it in.
Yeah, no one watches this on YouTube. It's like, I was like, oh great, you finally be on YouTube, and now you're like, no. But like, we don't stream it live. It's just like it's just audio recording. So yeah, it's interesting because most media, it's like, is it a commodity or is it not? So is it a thing where it's like, how do you make it different? And I may probably do like one or two more games, and then I'm gonna have to, because I'm starting to tell I need to eat lunch soon. But so like, you're a commodity. It's basically like, how do you differentiate your brand from all these other different people, right?
Yeah.
And the challenge of that is, if you have a commodity, the price, you don't determine it. So what you're saying right there is, it went from me, if you had 1 million streams, you could make $100,000. Well, now it's on the 30,000, because the market. And so you're not in control of any of that stuff. So it's like, do you go wide or do you go deep? Yeah. And it's kind of tough, because even if you go deep, I'm not entirely sure you can actually make all that much money off it. I think in the end of the day, like, all of media is a commodity. You can't determine the price. It's determined for you.
Yeah.
And even if you want to go deep, it just kind of doesn't matter. Like, you're still kind of beholden to like a lot of other stuff. So yeah, I don't know if this is the thing your audience wants to hear about or not. So if there are other questions, feel free.
Yeah. Sorry guys who are still here in the chat. Thank you so much because there's still like 4 people in chat. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out with us. So one personal question I would love to hear from. I'm bringing it back to Me Without You, which I know no one wants to hear about, but this is just from my own personal, my own personal interest. Have you seen that Me Without You is releasing their live stuff? This like in 3 parts. Like in November 22nd, they're releasing part 1, and then like later on they'll release, like, remember like the live show for like the last hoorah.
Is it the last on the live show or their last 2 live shows?
I think it's a combination of the whole. I think their last live shows. It just they did pick different songs for different live shows. Like this was the best one. We're gonna put it
throughout their tour.
The other tour.
Okay.
Which I'm like so excited for. Like I was at their last show. In Philadelphia.
Oh, you went to it?
I went to it.
Oh, nice.
Freaking amazing. Definitely.
Dude, how great was it when they did the Memphis will be late to waste part? That was I cried during that because I watched the audio.
It was honestly like you could tell it's so funny because it's so like every time I bring up Me Without You, no one knows who they are and no one appreciates them, and I was like, I hate all of you guys. But to be in a room of people who actually enjoy Me Without You and enjoy and actually know the lyrics, like when that song came on, the whole room just lit up, and literally it was just everyone was just getting into it. Like it was phenomenal, absolutely.
As soon as I heard the drum part, I was like, oh boy. I was so like, I knew exactly what they were gonna do, and I'm like, they, and then when Josh Rogan, whatever his name is, from Norma Jean. Well, then I'm Norma Jean now, the 68 or whatever. I was like, this is gonna be great. Like that they're doing it, and it just like it. What was so cool about that for me, on top of just being like a song that's very meaningful to me and all this stuff, was just the fact that that was a really big thing for a lot of Christian. I don't know if this was true in like the like normal indie scene. I really don't know. But like to have a guest come on your song, and it was just such a good way. It was always so cool, and so it reminded me of a specific era of this music scene that I just loved to death.
Yeah,
and I got tears just kind of like remembering that.
I mean, honestly, I really wish Haley Williams would have came for the last show, because I love
All Circles.
Yeah, 10 circles. Yeah. No, wait. Was it 10 circles? Yeah.
Is it called 10 Circles? Is that?
Oh no, 10 stories. 10 stories. 10 stories.
10 Stories is the name of the album. The song's called All Circles.
Yeah, and what else is Easton? I think she's in EastEnders Wives, and Fox's Dream of Log Flume, I believe. Anyway, I was kind of just like, I kind of wish she came on in the. Way to go! You won.
Thank you.
Again or another one?
I can do. Let's do like one more new one.
Okay.
What you want? Oh, is it going to be random? Which is totally fine.
Yeah, this is random. Oh gosh darn, I hate this one.
Well, you want to? Can we skip it?
I mean, we just kind of play it. We'll just let it play out. We'll let the CPUs win this one. But I mean, for me emotionally during that time, like just being there, it was to see like all the bands who came to play. It was just like, you know, they were a big part of like, you know, me without you's like, you know, lives, and to see how, you know, they impacted me, their music impacted me, and just to see, especially at the very end, like how their families came on.
That was
stage.
So cool.
I mean,
to me, it made their ending like you saw why it was ending and why it happened.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, what was so cool about it was it was like a celebration of the band and their stuff with people that were more important than the band.
Yeah.
Which is like their families, right? It was such a moving experience. It was so Christian, because it's like, here's what really matters, like their family, their kids, their wives. Like, I just thought it was so joyful. There was just a lot of joy, and joy is like Christianity in action.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm curious. Did you ever like do a deep dive on the last album, Untitled?
Not as much as I would like to.
Okay.
Because everything I've heard from it, I love. I love like the song with like Holy to the Lord on the Bell of Horses is beautiful. Yeah,
phenomenal. I think my favorite basically the last three songs were where it's like 3,000 miles, and then goes into Betsy and Wendy song, and then goes into New Wine, New Skin, and then ends on the final song. Like that whole combination, like that is like my peak of like, that's like my favorite like line of songs from that album, and I think they nailed it so well with those songs. Like I just love the build up for Betsy and Wendy. So I was just kind of going to hear your thoughts on those songs, if you had any opinions on those songs. But if you have, I love this minigame.
I haven't done a huge deep dive into that, so I honestly couldn't tell you like what are the names of the songs on that album, and now I kind of like wish I had. But I stole it. I do think that like I feel like because I haven't listened to that stuff, and but I haven't, again, like I couldn't tell you any of the names or like the really really deep themes, but I've done like a bit of a dive into it. It feels like that album. Okay, so if you look at 10 Circles is a bit of a, like, I'm maybe not necessarily deconstructing, but I'm going out a little bit, and I'm kind of like, I'm wrestling with, like, is all of this actually real or not? And I'm like, that's why I love the song 10 Circles.
Yeah.
Sorry, is it something like about this idea that, like, listen, I presuppose I'm gonna end here, but I don't know unless I go, and I have to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they're such a beloved band. Particularly, I think this is interesting amongst like the Christian queer, because there's this element of like, I can't stay here, but I want to, but there's something deeper that's calling me away from this. Oh, sorry, I just had like a knock on my door, but it was just to Amazon. I'm being called away.
Yeah.
But I know but I want to come back.
Yeah, and that's what I saw at the concert too, like a lot of LGBT people there, and I'm just like, it's so fascinating. Cause I'm just like, it's like you guys, there's something here for you guys, and there's something deeper calling you, but you know, obviously they are choosing something else, and it's just like, it's just so, and like it's crazy to see that Me Without You taps into that for them, and I feel like that is what like great music and great media does. It's like it taps into the real questions and where the real meaning is, and it allows people to really ask those questions, and like, you know, it's kind of being the tension, which I think actually Catching Foxes does so well, just being the tension. And then I think that's where Christ is always at, because he's always in attention with, you know, here's me on the cross, but also in suffering, but also great love being poured out. And I think that's just, you know, what Me Without You does. Oh, nice job.
That's a beautiful point about like that desire. Let's play that game like maybe one or two more times, because I want to talk about this for a bit. Like, yeah, that's such a beautiful point about like the tension of death and love, of like, I'm willing to endure this horrific pain, this horrific suffering out and for love.
Yeah.
And that Balthasar talks a bit about like, you have to be willing to engage with that tension, and to bring it back to Me Without You, and why I think they resonate. That was nuts.
Yeah, that was
why that's so important for so many people. Is that and this actually goes to our like earlier point about like the audience tends to reflect the creator.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot is that you know, people they come for Gomer, but Luke.
They stay for Luke.
Yeah, there's so many people. I really love them at first, but like now you're my favorite. That happens all the time. Tale as old as time is that. I remember Gomer pointed this out about their lead singer Aaron Weiss. He has a deep love and deep desire to know the living God.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who are there, who some people would say like are doing things that are incompatible with Christianity, they still have a deep, deep love. Strike!
Dang, way to go, dude.
Thank you. A deep, deep love, and they want to know God, but they're having to wrestle with these things that are being told are incompatible.
Yeah.
And it's like, my experience has been that the love and desire for God trumps anything else.
Yeah.
So that's why that tension is able to be there, and that's why I think their Untitled album is, to a certain extent, to me, about being comfortable with the tension.
Yeah.
And if you were to view it as the experience, I don't remember. No, because there's Pale Horses, and then it goes.
Oh, Pale Horses, gosh.
Pale Horses, but yeah, Pale Horses is like, okay, like Pale Horses is like an acknowledgement and to sit with pain, like the pain of like his dad's death.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that I can definitely relate to, obviously, but like the that after the fact, to me, like Untitled, everything my experience of that album, good win, has been about, okay, I've been on this journey, I've been through some pain here. I'm not where I was.
Start.
It's like you've come full circle, but you are back where you were, but you're different because of the journey.
Yeah.
And you're willing to sit with more of like, there's now tension here that was not there before, but I am back at the starting point of where I was. Like, that's why I love the song Julia, because it's I think it's Julia, and that's Julia. On that. Yeah. Like, like the idea of like the spiritual awakening on like a West Virginia road and stuff, and then to me that Holy to the Lord on the Bells of Horses is about, I don't think I'm getting this mixed up here, but like, it's almost, I'm encountering God in like this like mythical place in my mind. Mm-hmm. But I am okay, like, but it's not like it's weird because it's I think that the song is about this element of, I don't really know if this is you or not, that is I'm like here, or if this encounter with you that I'm experiencing right now is actually just in my head, or if it is real, or if it's just me, I'm wrestling with ideas. But I know that you're going to work through it regardless. In the end, I will probably find you.
Yeah. And
even if I don't, if I come out on the other side with more questions, I have enough, like, kind of go back to our conversation about like roots, I have enough of that I know it's going to be okay.
Yeah, and honestly, I think where the last song, Break Onto the Other Side Part 2, like the lyrics that get me the most, I had to pull it up because it's like, it's like wrestling with the idea of like, it's like, can you really all make all things new? I have reason to believe you do. And he pauses for a bit. Nothing new. Break on to the other side. Part 2. And like, and it's like, and it's also, and before that, it's like, is every day 1,000 years? Is and just like kind of referencing like, is one day is 1,000 years, a day, and one day is 1,000 years, or 1,000 years is a day to God type of thing. And knowing when what we think is like, bless you, knowing when these moments we have in our lives, dang, killed it, when moments that are in these lives where we think it's like, man, where am I going, where am I at? But in those moments, it's like, might be eternity for us, but it's just a moment for God. And then, but on the flip side, it's like, isn't, I don't, hang on, I kind of lost my train of thought about this. I apologize, because it's been so long since I've wrestled with this song. But back to like, do you all things, it's like when he's talking to Jesus, talking to his mother, it's like, I make all things new. And then like kind of asking that question, it's like, but do you make all things new? And then just like in our own lives, but then just like kind of questioning God, but just like, but also having that trust in that moment. It's just like, okay, you say you make all things new. I might not see it in myself right now, but I trust that like in that love you will make all things new, whether I see it or not, type of thing. And I think that's where like where Untitled like kind of ends it at the end. Oh man, there's also a certain like secret line they say that I really like, and I can't even remember. Does that make sense? I feel like I was all over the place with that.
No. It does, which is basically like, I think part of it is, and this is a little bit cliche, but I'm gonna have to end here because my like headphones are about to die.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so sorry.
No, dude, this has been wonderful. I think he's saying like, I know your time is different than mine, but this is hard.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like it's filled with hope, but just enough of. This is why I think Catching Fox is the perfect name for our podcast, and why this band is such like. I'm like, you want to get us? Come listen to this band.
Yeah.
Not that we are as good as them or as deep, but like we are wrestling with the like same thing. It's like okay, so this idea, God wants to play an active role in my life. Okay, I'm doing it. Why is this so hard?
Yeah.
And like, what does this actually look like? So it's not despair. It's like absolutely hope, but it doesn't presume that hope is then easy. It's the same message as the Footprints, but it's much more deep and it's much more real because the Footprints are way scarier, and it goes beyond just the idea of all things being made new, but the lived reality of that, of like I always go back to this, like they have this one line that I just adore, which is it's in the song "Son of a Widow," talking to one of the people who Christ like resurrected. Like, where did your soul go when you died again? Yeah. And it's like, okay, like you've done all these. Like I'm trying. Like, what happens? You know, like what that type of that like, what's next? What is beyond this? What like, if God is in reality, like, okay, where are you? Where like it to me, the depth of Me Without You, and of these types of songs is it speaks to the human experience of the cross and of the Christian.
Yeah.
Which is like through great stuff, which is that like you are an individual who is created in the image and in the likeness of God, who are also incredibly unique. Yeah. And that God became man. The human, like the scandal and the complexity and the on the surface contradictory nature of that. Of the first being last and the last being first, and having to die in order to live. Those on the surface don't make a sense, but when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, it makes a ton of sense. Yeah. But then, and I'll trying to put a bow on this. It is naive of us to think that it is going to always be a simple experience. Yeah. And sometimes it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like we can just keep on going, honestly. But just to quickly, that's for my friends who struggle with just God and religion in general. Thank you. That's the one thing that they struggle with most. It's the suffering part. They don't want to go to the cross. They just want the resurrection. And I try to explain that to them, and being with the immense suffering that I've been through in my life, it's like, do I want to go through that suffering again? No, but the fact that I've gone through it and have come out on the other side, get it? Like it's just like I'm a different person from where I was, and it really feels like it's just like whereas like where I feel like I am a new man because of that suffering and that love that was given to me through that suffering, and not and it's hard to tell someone's like, well, suffering's just part of life. You just gotta just get used to it, and I think what you guys do, and then what Me Without You does is like try to put it in a palpable way that like speaks to the human heart and still moves them toward the light in a sense, toward God in a sense. But yeah, I don't want to keep you much longer. I know. Thank you. We've been going through so many great topics. I feel like we could keep talking the rest of the day. I don't want to keep you. Any last things you want to say or end it on?
No, just dude, I love this. This was so. I can't believe this in 3.5 hours. This was so much fun.
I know. I was like, should we do a full 2-hour game? But no, this was perfect.
No, you were definitely right. Do you have any like last minute rapid fire stuff that you would want to ask?
Let me see. Dream job. Well, okay. This is a fun event. So, when's your next live event with Catching Foxes? What's your dream job? And books and music. Books you're reading and music you're listening to.
Okay, so let me go first with the next Catching Foxes live show. We don't have anything scheduled right now. I'll probably wait to maybe, I don't know. Just because of the annulment and the divorce and like everything, I want a bit of time before we do that because I just feel like I don't have a lot to give.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a bit of like, and there's something to be said about giving out of your poverty. So I just kind of have some stuff in my own life that I kind of want to like be at peace with before I'm able to really do that. But so not anytime soon. But
that's totally fair.
I think I would love to do because I love it. It's so great to be able to connect with people. Like that's what I love about it. So, dream job for me right now, without giving too much away, because that's not that it really matters, but I really would love to work at just like a large NGO.
Yeah.
So just be able to work for like, I'm kind of over like your tinier, smaller organizations. And just
that's fair.
What I've been reading and listening to, I've been pretty busy with work and stuff recently. So I have been really enjoying the Lonely Island podcast with Seth Meyers, going through all of their digital shorts on SNL. I've been loving that. It's been so great. It's so funny. I love those guys.
Yeah, I know he's funny.
I love their friendship. I love their humor. Like, I just think it's great. I've been listening to a lot of like random playlists. Let me just pull it. Like, so I have a playlist called "You Choo Choo Choose Me," and it's just every song I've ever liked. I've just tried to add it to that. I'll see if there's anything else on Spotify that I can listen to. It's just been a lot of like random stuff, like same old like soccer podcast. I listened to a really cool audiobook called The Last Action on Heroes. I just love this kind of stuff. It's a step above. It's a step above a well-written Wikipedia article. But it's not like an insanely insightful piece of literature, but it is really interesting. It goes through the action stars of the late 70s and of the 80s, like kind of interesting. And just like how they get so big, why they get so big, what were they doing that helped them get that big? And it's about Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sly Stallone, Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan. I didn't realize Jackie Chan, how big he was in Asia and how people were trying to get him big in the States, and it basically took to the late 90s for that to happen.
Yeah.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal kind of goes through like their lives, but their time as action hero stars, and how did that happen? How did they get there? What were they trying to do? What were they able to accomplish? Oh, and Bruce Willis. It's just, I love the kind. I love a good how did they do it? Story. So like film Air. I loved Air. I watched the Steve Jobs film that was written by Aaron Sorkin recently. It's a bit of a how they do it. I just love smart people talking fast about how they do really cool stuff. I think is very interesting.
Nice.
what books have I finished up the Lord of the Rings. That was good. I got a book called The Confession of X. It's JD Flynn. I talked about on Twitter from the Pillar podcast. It is a book about from the standpoint of one of Saint Augustine's, one of either I think it's his girlfriend or his mistress before he has a conversion.
Interesting.
I don't know which one, but it's about like her side of the story.
Fascinating.
And
that's
supposed to be
cool.
very, very good. Yeah. So I need to continue to read that, and a little bit of started to read Walden and Civil Disobedience, and then The Moviegoer by Walker Percy is great. That's kind of it. I've really been watching. I don't really have a ton of time, as much time as I would like to have to watch stuff.
Yeah.
Just being a full-time parent and stuff. Single parent, well, full-time parent. Just being like I'm a single parent for half of the week.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So that's pretty much it, man.
Awesome.
How about you? Anything good?
I'm trying to think. I mean, honestly, music-wise, I kind of listen to the same music over again. I kind of had to take a break between my music and then just listen to radio just to take a break from my music. I think I've been re-listening to Walk the Moon, and which is from your state.
Yeah, I'm Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're just a fun band, and I just kind of like, because honestly, I kind of the one I listen to the most is obviously Me Without You, Arcade Fire, what else? Mumford & Sons, like that whole thing. It's like that's what I usually go to. And so I've been trying to buy like new albums, and so every month, and so this album was Walk the Moon this month for me. TV wise, it hasn't, honestly. There has Silo just started this weekend, and I really enjoyed Silo on Apple TV. So season 2 just came out, so I'm really excited for that. And just apocalyptic world where people live in silos in the ground, and then what ensues from that. Really, and I think it's just very very interesting. But reading wise, I haven't done any reading, which I used to live an hour away from my work, but now I live 15 minutes, so I can't listen to my audiobooks anymore. And then like when I listened to you guys, it was like my trip to the gym, which is a 15-minute drive, and I had to break you guys up in like 15-minute spurts of me just driving to the gym. And I was like, gosh, I missed my hour ride, so I can just listen to Kashi Boxes at one go. It's so frustrating. But honestly, I think those are like the only movie wise I would say I'm excited to see is literally Sonic 3, just because it's just a fun video game movie that they've done really well, which surprised the hell out of me, honestly. But I was trying to think, I was like, what have my favorite movies been this far this year? I can't even think of like any great movies that come out this year. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely the movie of the year for me. And to be honest, also, I have such a bad memory of remembering these things. But fair. Yeah.
I'm excited. No, that's all very, very cool. I need to listen to more cool bands. I really love that idea of getting like a new album or so every month.
Yeah, because like it's like the thing is like like for me it's like why spend $10 to Spotify every month when I actually just give that money, or at least what I think give the money to that band, buy their music, support them rather than supporting Spotify. Which I mean, I think Spotify helps you find new music, and I think that's great. But as the artist, especially with the, no offense to like Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter, and like what's his Post Malone, Harry Styles. It's like they're fine, they're fun songs, but it just like I feel like so much of that is just corporate type of like the music machine just moving and making those songs. Whereas, you know, you look at these indie bands who just like, man, they're putting their heart and souls into the songs, but they're not getting they're not being paid for what they're making. And like, you know, these workers need like a just wage to make the content that, you know, our heart actually long for it needs, rather than, you know, these pop songs, which there's a place for it, but, you know, I just, for the most part, that's my tangent on like why we need to support indie artists or just indie music artists.
Oh, totally agree.
And support Catching Foxes at catchingfoxes.fm.
Yeah.
And patreon.com/FCF. All in the show notes.
Listen to our show.
All in the description below. But yeah, is there anything else you want to plug in? Anything else? Because I put your guys' YouTube in the description. Catching Foxes FM on the description, and your Patreon as well too. They can find. I mean, they can click on your Catching Foxes pod in the description to come subscribe to your podcast. But yeah, I mean, Luke, if we could do this again sometime in a year or so or whatever, would love to talk with you again, play video games with you. So just, you know, doors always open to come back on, hang out, and play video games. Had a really great conversation with you, and I'm looking forward to our next one. If it'd be cool if we ended here, because I definitely need to have lunch and, you know, get things moving for the rest of the day for myself.
This has been so much fun, dude. I have loved this.
Awesome.
Honestly, this was a blast. So,
all right, I want to end the stream right now, but then we can just kind of end it right here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next stream, which might be next Thursday or next Saturday, depending on when we do. But keep on the community chat. Thank you for everyone joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right, hang on.